Hey, welcome to the TheGeeksAttic. Here we are with episode 2 of Judging a Book by Its Cover, and we have some guests with us today. Once again, we have Jeremy from Stupid Chainsaw Productions, but today he's going by the Geeks Chamber of Passion.
Yeah,
that's great.
It was a wild time in the Chamber of Passion.
Oh, no. Goodness. We also have showing up on the TheGeeksAttic, we've got Dylan from the Twin Sons Foundation. Hello, Dylan. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you introduced him wrong. His real name is John Sadler.
John Sadler.
Here we go again.
Carrying it over to the TheGeeksAttic.
Yeah, this crisis will never die.
Yeah. Hey, AD Bryant, or Adam, Quality Autism. Hey, we do have another guest that should be coming on here any minute. He is having some technical difficulties, so sorry about that. Hey, Jacob, welcome.
It's called being a boomer.
A boomer.
Yeah.
Does he get that free pancakes at IHOP yet? Is that senior citizen discount?
Ooh, I don't know. We'll have to ask him.
Uh-oh. I think, and here he is, ladies and gentlemen. We have Matt Wilkins, also known as the Geek's Bathroom. That's where he's joining us today.
The real Chamber of Passion.
That's the trial right there.
Yeah,
This is where the magic happens. Let me tell you.
yeah, a lot of hiding out.
This is also where all the new canon books go.
It's where they come from. Maybe the pages wind back up in there too. But hey, Jeffrey, and hey, Brady. So we're gonna do some more book judgment based on the cover, whether we've read
is
them or
that
not.
where you had some aftermath?
Yeah, another Geek's Bathroom thing there. The aftermath, the Empire's End, all that nonsense. Hopefully, after we do some book judging, depending on the time, and if you guys are up for it, we could talk about the more details about that leak of the Star Wars show that George Lucas had going. Matt, if you haven't talked about that yet, I don't know if you've been wanting to wait on that as well.
I haven't watched it yet, and I don't.
You haven't watched it, okay?
I don't care. You all can talk about
We
it.
might do that another time.
Y'all do it.
I'd like, if Jeremy doesn't want to talk about it, I'd like to talk about it, please.
Okay, we can do it. Whatever you guys want to do. But okay, I've got 2 books here, and I know that Jeremy, you have some books, and Dylan, you have some books.
I do. I have some books. I have like 2 that are for sure to talk about. If we need some more, I have a couple extras that I don't think we'll need them.
Okay. Matt, do you have any books that you want to talk about?
I don't have any, but it's nice not to see Chris on this stream again. Thank you for not inviting him on purpose, Matthew.
I tried to schedule him on here, and he said he was busy. I think that's his excuse for not wanting to be here.
I hear it's snowing. Where is that?
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Some special snow out there where he's from. But okay, so up first, I've picked up a book that I have read. That'd be Star Wars: The Cloak of Deception.
Oh, okay.
So that this would be an interesting cover to talk about. Hopefully you could see it better this time since I've upgraded my camera.
I was going to say, you look like you're in 3K now.
3K?
I say 2.7K.
Yeah.
I mean, I can almost see your beard.
Yeah. Come back a little bit. Matt, instead of referring to the Essentials Guide, and I have read this book, you could still say it better than I can, because like my mind is just, it's hard to retain a lot of the stuff these days, because I've been reading, I read 3, well, I know you've read 3 or 4 books now since I've read Cloak of Deception, and the books that you're going through are like 800, 900 pages long. But I'm just going to say about the cover artist is, once again, I believe he did the 2 book covers that I chose last time. This is unintentional, but Stephen D. Anderson did the cover.
Okay. How shocking.
I know. So you got floating heads and some characters there, and you got
He should do memes.
should do meme. Yeah, maybe he does.
He is
Maybe all
going
of
in disguise.
Do what?
Dylan, did you used to be Stephen D. Anderson?
I mean, he's John.
How many alter egos are you going to give me now?
I don't know, Dylan.
I don't know, Sadler. You tell me.
Holy bullshit.
So we have See,
Hello there.
Quality Autism's going back to the aftermath. Says it's the most expensive toilet paper he's ever bought. Yeah. Yeah. Jacob, definitely a Photoshop cover with cloak of deception. I agree. Now, in my opinion, if I had not read this book, I would definitely say it's politics. This is when the Jedi interfere with politics for the first time. And it's got old Chancellor Valorum on the cover, which is awesome because we don't really get much of him in the movie. Just how many seconds do you think we get him in episode 1?
Not much. And overall, I thought he would be an interesting character to explore in episode 1, besides that book in a short comic book series. Correct, Jeremy? I think that's it for Valorum. In the
Yeah,
expanded universe.
it's him. It's Jedi Council Acts of War that he's involved in.
That's a 4-issue series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Dave Filoni decided to throw him in the Clone Wars, even though that contradicted. That's the only other thing I can think of.
I forgot about that.
I didn't. It's
I
another.
totally forgot about that. I wrote that out. You need to read Jedi Acts of War. Is that what? Yeah.
Jedi Council Acts of War.
Council Acts of War. It's pretty good.
Yeah, the art's terrible, but like
It is terrible.
Did Stephen D. Anderson do it?
no.
It's one of those. It's one of those.
I shared the art for those of you who weren't here last week. I shared that, like the cover of that, as one of mine. last
Okay.
week.
What?
Ugly. It's just that early
Yeah.
2000s art that was just not
Plain, boring,
cartoony.
cartoon. I was gonna say cartoony, but plain and boring. Not like anime cartoony. Just kind of like lazy 80s.
Not
No.
even 80s, like 90s. Art.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's just,
And that was the style. If you remember, Gen 13 Ordinary Heroes did the same type
I know.
of.
We all actually we don't all know how I feel about Gen 13.
Huh. Well,
We won't get
I actually enjoyed this book, but judging by the cover, I thought this would be a horrible book, boring, political. My opinion when I read it, and I thought it was a great build up to episode 1. I enjoyed it. Matt, you look like you don't.
Are you skipping?
yeah,
Am I
his signal's not working.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matthew. You're skipping there for a minute. That's what I was looking at. No, I mean it's James. It's easily James Luceno's worst novel,
Until-
but it's not bad. It's not good either. I don't think. But you liked it.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty fun read. Like Commander Cole was a pretty cool character.
I'll be honest. That's the one I remember the least about all of his writings.
Oh wow!
You haven't read his new canon stuff. It's a significantly better book than his new canon stuff. I think it's fine. I thought it was a fine book. That being said, I read it and Darth Plagueis near the same time, which I think is a great double feature read because you get the highlight reel of Cloak of Deception and Darth Plagueis. What do you eat?
You get the highlight reel of a lot of things in Darth Plagueis.
Yeah. And you get the setup for a bunch of other things.
So, sorry. I hope I'm not lagging too much here. It looks like I am. No.
Not anymore.
Okay. Good. It's just my old computers. They suck. All of them. So yeah, Quality Autism says another Steven Anderson Photoshop cover. I mean, I think this is better than his. Well, maybe better than previous covers we did.
Out of all of those types of covers, it's one of my favorites. That's not saying much. I just think Photoshop's pretty decent.
Yeah.
And it's a new idea at the time to make covers like that because that and Darth Maul's Shadowhunter came out around the same time. Those were like new looking covers.
Yeah.
That being said, we had just come out of the Bantam era, and Bantam covers are just wonderful.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
My mom was just talking about how she loved the Bantam covers the other day when we were having a conversation about that.
Real like actual
I
art.
totally want your mom to do a video with you about those Bantam covers.
I want her to do like a podcast, but she refuses. She will not come on camera because she's like one of the reasons I got into the EU. You know?
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you guys have read this book based on the cover?
No.
No.
Yeah, it's very bland.
I would have because I'm interested in Qui-Gon and Council of Valorum. So the characters on the cover would have gotten me to read it. I'll be honest.
I mean, if looking back now, that was one of the first EU hardcovers I was given. So maybe I would have read it because it would have been in my collection, and I would have just picked it up one day. But it wouldn't have been the first one I come to.
I'll be honest. If the author would have said Jude Watson, I would have been very excited, no matter what the cover would look like.
Yeah, because those Jude Watson covers are very peculiar now.
They are. Obi-Wan looks a little weird, but at the same time, who cares? It's what's inside.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the funny thing is, out of her 3 young adult novels, like series, Last of the Jedi, in my opinion, had the most consistent good covers, and it's the weakest of the 3. So,
Okay. Who's next?
Jeremy, you have a book that you would like to show?
oh yeah, I got this one right here.
I'm gonna throw you up on the screen.
All right, so the guessing game begins. Who are the 4 people on this cover? And I get to actually explain what this originally was, because this was not a cover for a comic. It was a promotional. Thank you. That was a real good time. Real good one. But who's on here?
Looks like Vader. That's all I can see.
Okay, blow it up
I know-
again. I won't make faces this time.
Oh, you can make faces if you want.
It is. Oh, okay. If
Do
I
you want the
didn't
correct
know,
answer, or do
if
you
I
want,
didn't know, because I do know.
Yeah. Do you want the correct answer, or do you want like?
Let's pretend I did not know. I would say, Cade, Luke, and Leia.
I
If
mean,
I-
you're almost correct.
I think
there.
the middle one does kind of have that Luke appearance.
Yeah, middle one's definitely Luke. Obviously, the back one's Vader. And I mean, if you don't know anything about the EU, you're not going to get the other 2 on the left and right. I know who they are, but
Well, the thing is it's such a weird cover to make for the Old Republic, which is collecting Knights of the Old Republic, because Zane is the most unrecognizable, and he's the character from the series.
yeah,
So this was for those of you who don't know, this was Dark Horse's big event. It was a cross through with the 4 Star Wars comic series at the time. It was called Vector. So it started in Knights of the Old Republic, then it went to Dark Times, then it went to Rebellion, which was originally Empire, but it got renumbered and called Rebellion, and then it ended in Legacy. So yeah, it's if you could blow me up one more time.
Sorry.
So it started with Zane in Knights of the Old Republic, then it went to Darth Vader in Dark Times, then Luke in Rebellion, and lastly went to Cade in Legacy. And I have a big complaint about this cover because Cade's lightsaber is green at this point in the series. I don't know how.
Borgia.
Or bathroom, weird stuff happens.
Yeah.
We had quality autism, got it.
I mean, you would not know Zane at all. You could guess Cade, Luke. But that looks nothing like Luke. The thing is, because he has a blue lightsaber, I think people would guess Luke. But it looks like the Hello Kitty version of Luke.
I would say, you know what it looks like? If any of you read the Tales comics, it looks like that one issue of Tales where you had the Ben Skywalker story. It looks like Ben from that. But that's really like, if you read this issue of Tales and read Ben Skywalker's only comic book appearance.
I didn't even know Ben Skywalker was in Tales.
Yeah, he has one story in issue 19.
Mhm.
It's also the most expensive issue of Tales because it is the only appearance of Ben Skywalker.
On his own, yeah, as in the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
And bravo to them for making that one.
Yeah, that was at that end when Tales started getting decent.
Well, they had a decent story here and there. You know, Nathan Butler did his Kyle Katarn, which I thought was really good, and they had some people who cared and were reading the new books.
Yeah,
So that was really nice. But I mean, the Ben Skywalker short story isn't the best, but you like it because Ben's in it.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that is fair to say. Since I don't remember what happened in the story.
It's not much. It's not
No.
much. But you're just more excited to see a Ben Skywalker story.
I wish there had been more, but
Boom, quality got it. Looks like Luke from the holiday special.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's that's a better answer than I gave. That's great. Yeah, I agree.
I would agree as well. This was also can we talk about Vector here? And how terrible Vector is?
Shut your
It
face.
had good bookends.
It had good bookends, but that middle part is a waste of time. I would have liked, honestly, if we didn't have, because for one thing, Rebellion was falling apart as a comic book series, and it ends on an event that is like sinful in my book, and that's like a Marvel DC thing that they do all the time.
Not its fault, because this crossover was planned before they decided to end Rebellion, though.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, but the Dark Time.
I mean, I agree with you. It's a bad way to end the comic book series, but it was planned before they decided to cancel Rebellion, because no one would have wanted it to end on Vector. That's for sure. But it just wasn't selling well. But you know what? I didn't know how a crossover would work. I thought they did the best with what they could do.
Yeah.
And is it the best story in the world? No, you're right. It drags a little bit too. But they wanted to do a crossover, and you've never seen that with Star Wars before, especially Star Wars from different eras. I was like, because remember when they talked about Vector, about what it was going to be like? I was like, I think that was in the Insider, like right before, right when it started, and they said we're going to start in the Old Republic and end in Legacy. I was like, how? How are you going to do that? And I just couldn't grasp how they were going to do it, and I didn't read it till it was all done.
Yeah.
The entire crossover series.
Yeah, I did the same thing because.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, that was right when where I bought comics went out of business, so I just stopped getting single issues, and I had to start collecting in trades and waiting like everyone else for things. So I think I got Vector for Christmas and read it in both volumes and read it in one sitting, which was really annoying back in the day because rather than like have 4 volumes, one for each like story arc, they combined them into 2 Vector volumes, but they like skipped a number for each series if you got the trade paperback. So like KOTOR went from volume 4 to volume 6 if you had them all on your shelf. And like Legacy went from volume 5 to 7. It was really just for like organization's sake, really obnoxious back in the day. And I think that's part of why I judged it so terribly when I first read it. Because as it stands now, I think that like the bookends are really good, but the middle is just like we gotta tie it in because it's an event, sort of thing. It's like how in Marvel they'll just add superheroes into events because they're there and because they can sell, even though they're not involved in the event.
I'm gonna check on little baby girl. Keep talking.
Sure. So like it's like in any Marvel event that doesn't have the X-Men in it, and they have to have an X-Men tie-in to say, oh, this is what the X-Men are doing. It has nothing to do with the Marvel event. I don't know.
So for somebody who's never read any of the Expanded Universe comics, would you recommend that they do pick up the Star Wars comics in the Expanded Universe? And which one would you recommend that they read first?
Whatever you can get your hands on.
Yes. Whatever goes on sale on Comixology is your best bet. Anything with John Ostrander's name on it?
John Ostrander's good. Hayden Blackman's good.
Hayden Blackman's 50-50. I don't want to have this fight with you again. Hayden Blackman's written some trash. He's written some incredible stuff, but he's also written some trash. That's why I'm throwing 50-50.
John Jackson Miller, as long as it's not Knight Errant.
Exactly. Actually, Knight Errant's hard to get. Like you have to buy the single issues on Comixology is your best bet. With the Old Republic Epic Collection, something you should know if you're buying these in print, Volume 1 is very out of print, and you're going to pay about $100 to get it in print.
Oh, wow.
Physical copy. I talked someone into selling me 4 Marvel Epic Collections, and it was one of them for about $80, which is about cover price for each one.
How much is Legacy going for right now?
Legacy is still like low because they're printing it right now. That's one of the ones they're currently.
Yeah, I would almost venture to guess that you would start. That would be a good place to start because I mean it's Ostrander. It's far enough detached away from everything that like not knowing about stuff in the rest of the EU isn't really going to hinder you.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you can get your hands on it, Tales of the Jedi is also a really good starting point.
If you want to spend $50 per Omnibuy,
So
It's more like $200 per Omnibuy
it's
now.
200 now. It was like 53 years ago.
For the Dark Horse ones, yeah, they're really expensive now. But you can buy the digital issues on Comixology for about $1.99 a piece, and I would recommend doing that with any of them. Okay, I'm so glad that Matt is a 5-year-old.
Hey, so was that Big League Chew that you were stuffing in your mouth earlier? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so would you buy that comic book based on its cover? My answer would be no.
No, it's too like trying to figure out what it is like.
I agree.
I would probably pass by as well.
Yeah.
Just
Dylan, what do you have next?
I think it's kind of sometimes it's hard to sell Vader to me. Sometimes like in comics because I guess it might be just more towards like the new canon stuff. There's so many new Vader comics out of nowhere, and the character really isn't consistent with who he is.
There are too many of them, especially at the end.
Yeah.
It was
It's like I get to that point where I'm just like giving up on Vader. Dylan, you got something?
Yeah, I have an interesting one. Because I wasn't really expecting it to come out like this. But it's a real eye-catching cover. So for the copy of Witchfire, I think like they really did an interesting thing with it, and like because it's like a medieval fantasy setting, but like there's like a nebula in the back. It's real weird. I'm kidding, of course.
That was a good one. You know, it's really funny that you say that too. I actually have Witchfire right here in my desk. I bought it not too long ago as well.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
But what I actually brought is probably one of my favorite comic covers.
I love it. I love that cover.
For if you don't know, this is Crimson Empire. This is the cover for issue 1, and this is the 30-year anniversary edition that I got, ironically, from Dave Dorman. He signed it, who is the cover artist for it.
You want to show that signature one more time? That way we can all mimic it in our books. I'm kidding.
It's like the last time the Dave Wolverton one I showed off.
Yeah, I really like this because, well, it's just like an intimidating, badass cover, with the Crimson Guard in an attack. In like in a very basic but like intimidating attack stance, and there's you kind of can't see it in this one. It's better in the actual comic if any of you have it. Wherever you can actually see like there's rows of Crimson Guards behind it. The Imperial logo in the back is on fire, and I even like how there's like a lighting effect where like there's like that looks like you can see red eyes coming out of the guardsman's
creepy
helmet visor.
And that's another comic series I would recommend as a starting point.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Matt's actually showing us something down there. Oh, wow.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what the full cover looks like.
Nice.
And you also got a Dark Empire cover on there, too.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Hello. These are all signed by Dave Dorman.
Sweet.
Yeah, really awesome.
You hold it one more time.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Beauty. Purdy.
Eating Hershey's.
Dark Empire is such a cool looking cover, too.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I actually, to judge that cover, Dylan, I think I did buy that, like the original, but I don't remember if I did or not. I have some trades. Okay, I haven't read them for the Expanded Universe, but I do have some, and I believe I picked up the Crimson Empire 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a 3 as well. That was much later though, and it's terrible.
Okay.
It's not.
It's pretty awful. It swaps Luke and Leia's characters. Is some of the worst characterization of the two of them.
I'm going to go back and look at some of these comments real quick. Adam
While you're looking at, oh, go ahead.
said, "Would you guys recommend Legacy of the Force with Cade Skywalker?"
Yes.
Legacy. Cade Skywalker wasn't in Legacy of the Force. He was in the Legacy comic series.
I would recommend both the Legacy comic series and Legacy of the Force.
Yeah.
They're both solid choices, whichever one you pick.
I
wouldn't.
It's really weird, interesting with like the post New Jedi Order stuff. It's like Legacy of the Force is a great story, right? But I'm almost like, should you start reading it if you haven't read New Jedi Order? I don't know, Matt. What's your take on that?
To me, to be honest, before I really got doing videos on YouTube about Star Wars, I thought you had to read Bantam first before going into Del Rey, before going into, and I am so wrong because they all are self-contained stories. Even the Legacy comic book would be self-contained. You don't really need to know that much, and it just takes off from there. Yes, they mentioned the Vong invasion, but the thing is, though, it could have been any alien invasion. You would have accepted it and moved on because that doesn't become very relative to the story as it goes overall, you know.
I will say that there's certain character deaths that are referenced.
It's true, but I don't think you'd be lost reading the comic book series.
I don't know if you would know what's happening, but I don't know if you would you would have the full emotional weight of what's happening.
Yeah, I think you would. You get enough of it. Granted, like reading New Jedi Order before Legacy of the Force adds to it, but I think as a whole, it's a standalone series. I don't think I can say the same thing about Fate of the Jedi, though.
Well, Jake Ayers says, even though I still call Cad the crackhead from when my friend described the series to me, so he's a crackhead.
He's addicted to death sticks for a while.
Oh, nice.
For about half of it, yeah.
Drugs and Star Wars. Bryce, he'd suggest the Tales of the Jedi when it's focused Exar Kun and Ulick Quell drama.
Ulick Quell drama, yeah. Tales of the Jedi is when does like the Nomi Sunrider Ulick Quell drama part actually start? What issue is?
Technically, it started with that, and then they went after the Sith War. They went back to Golden Age of the Sith and Fall of the Sith Empire or prequels.
Yeah, but in like when you get like the Omnibuy, for example, it's like in chronological order.
It starts in halfway through volume 1 of the omnibus. It was called, when they collected it in a trade paperback, it was called Knights of the Old Republic, but it's just called Tales of the Jedi. Specifically, it's the Tale of Nomi Sunrider, the Tale of Ulick Dromo. And volume 2 is Dark Lords of the Sith War, and Redemption. Pretty sure.
What? Okay. Would you guys recommend the calendar that never came out, that was promised us, but never came out?
Yeah, definitely.
Really? Dylan? Remember the fake,
Yeah.
I'll make a calendar, and then everyone donated all that money, and then he didn't do anything? What do you think about that?
I plead the fifth.
I think that's fake news.
Oh, well, maybe.
Might be.
I do want to answer my cereal question.
I was going to ask you about the cereal.
Yeah,
First off, cereal update. I haven't ate my poop cereal yet. I'm saving that for later.
Okay.
I just finished my box of Twinkies, cereal Twinkies. Good and bad. Good, they're delicious. Bad, they taste just like the powdered donut cereal. I was very disappointed. I love the powdered donut cereal, and if I had to choose between the two, of course I get Twinkies because they're Twinkies. But the thing is, though, you made it taste just like powdered donut cereal, and I was very disappointed. I mean, it's a good taste, but I was expecting something different.
Would you
So
say
it's kind of like the default flavor for junk that they just like, oh, well, hey, if we put this logo, they'll think it's Twinkie.
I think so. I think someone said, you know what, these powdered donuts can also pass for Twinkies. They went, let's do a Twinkie cereal.
Gosh, what about the Twinkie? We got Callum A. Hi, welcome.
Where's the
Point
calendar?
out- He pointed out we had a spammer. I put him in timeout, just like a kid. I put him in timeout.
Now he's back.
Is he back? Uh-oh. I'm trying to catch up on these comments. They went by pretty fast down here. It's freezing. Crimson Empire 3 had Pelion and Nom Anor.
Nominor, yeah. Well, Crimson Empire 2 had Nominor, but you didn't know who Nominor was.
Yeah, they were both Tom Veach characters. Yeah.
How about I just block the user that's Ooga Booga?
Yeah, go ahead.
I put him in timeout. Now he just kicked out.
Callum's never had Twinkies. Callum, I've never had a calendar.
Yeah, me too.
Wait,
We're waiting for this calendar.
Now it has to be a 13-month calendar.
I think
It's
it's been
become a
18
judge a
months.
calendar bike.
There's a reason Mary won't talk to Callum anymore. Anyway,
So would you buy this cover if you saw
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
yep.
sure.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is I'm sure that a lot of like the kids that are all about the new canon will see that and they'll say, "Oh, look, one of the crap. Jeremy?
Praetorian, I think they're called.
Praetorian, there you go. Like, oh, cool, a Praetorian Guard comic." And then they'll be introduced to the expanded universe.
Except their
Wow,
force
they
spikes
actually
don't disappear
Out
on
of
them.
their helmets.
Yeah.
Unlike the Praetorian Guards who don't have eye slits.
Got another Ooga Booga incident here.
Yeah, he has multiple accounts. You can just keep going. Just keep blocking.
Yeah, weird.
All right, so Jeremy, what's your other one?
Oh, you blocked the wrong person.
Oh, crap.
no.
Oh, no.
Get him on block.
Okay, AD, did I bring him back?
I don't know. You blocked him. Poor AD. This is hey AD. Matthew did the same thing to Chris Nelson. He blocked him too. So no worries, brother.
AD was blocked. Oh, crap.
Why did I choose to sober up this week?
How about I just send AD an invite to come in? You can have 5 users on here, correct?
Yeah, you can have up to 6.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, are you going to bring AD in because you blocked him?
yeah.
That's so nice of you. Because you don't. Hey, is it because you don't know how to unblock him?
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. Sorry if I did.
Now, come on, you guys make fun of me whenever I say something like that. He's back.
There's some
Is he
boomer
back?
moves.
Mm.
He's got plenty of accounts like that,
Good gosh.
and lots of time on his hands. Anyway, I also while you're doing those blocks there,
Yeah.
that's fun. It's like you missed someone. You shot the wrong guy. He ducked and you shot AD. That's great. Okay, so while we're waiting for him,
Poor
and while
Adam's
we're waiting to
probably
see
like,
Jonathan
"Oh,
Crichton's
man."
next account, this is the complete set of Highlander books. They all came in.
Oh, dude.
Ooh.
How
And
many of those can you read in a day?
oh man, I could do that whole thing in a week. Anyway,
Let's see it.
something for Jeremy. That's the whole Highlander comic books, all of them.
Yeah.
Single issue, $35. That was with shipping.
Yeah.
1 through 12, the regular series, and the Way of the Sword.
Did you get the American Dream?
And these just came in this week. Yeah. What's this one?
That is not part of the.
Oh, is the American Dream the newest one?
Yeah,
Okay, I need to get that one then.
that one's pretty easy to get.
That's not part of the regular series.
No, they came out like this. The regular series was done for like a few years, and then Dynamite's like, "We have this property. Let's make another one." It's basically a Connor story that doesn't really affect anything. That has the Kurgan in it, barely, but he's fighting someone else. It's like a prequel lead up to the original movie, but not at the same time. It's just like setting up that they were the gathering was happening in New York in like 1986.
Okay.
It's got some neat
So
things,
nothing.
but it is very skippable.
Well, I mean, it's Highlander. I mean, I got the rest of it, so let me look it up here. It's cheap. Thank you for that. No, I didn't think I didn't. I forgot about American Dream.
It's all good. There also might be, I don't know if it ever got released. There was a one-off Kurgan issue that I don't think ever got collected in trade, and I don't know if it was ever released. I remember it being advertised, but I don't remember ever seeing it.
Okay, we're back. Sorry. I just sent Adam an invite, so hopefully he'll receive his email and join us.
AD, I hope you have tears in your eyes when you come on,
That'd be great.
and
Anyway.
ask him why he did that.
Now he's going to create a new account and come on and Ooga Booga us.
Ooga boogas.
That's so stupid. All right, I've got a book. Sorry, I missed out on everything you guys talked about.
That's okay.
The blocked. Okay.
You need
Ladies and gentlemen, we have AD Bryant, Adam joining us, the Blocked Geek. Sorry about that, Adam.
No worries. No worries.
Adam, when he first blocked you, were you like, "What did I do, man?"
I didn't know he blocked me until you guys mentioned it.
Okay. So just, I wonder if it just keeps you from adding comments. So you were still able to watch it.
Yeah, I was still able to watch it.
Okay. I thought it might have booted you off completely, and I was like, oh no.
Jeremy, answer that question real quick. Who did the Highlander comic books? I'm trying
I
to
was
pull it up.
trying to remember. I don't remember.
Hold on, who wrote it?
Yeah, I don't.
Hold on.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, are you talking about
Geek's bathroom.
The writers were Brandon Jarrah and Michael Avon Oming. O-E Ming.
Matt, I just wanted you to know I actually did call a few bookstores around here asking for the Highlander audio dramas. They did not have them, unfortunately, but they did ask me, like, does your friend like Doctor Who by any chance?
Yeah, because Big Finish did a bunch of Doctor Who, and that's what's popular right now.
Yeah, this one girl that I talked to, she said that, like, can you, like, specify? Because there's, like, a lot of audiobooks named Highlander. Then I called another store, and they're like, and I was trying to explain the plot of it. They're like, oh, yeah, there's only one Highlander. So there you go.
Yeah, see, there can be only one. That's what you should have told the lady.
Yeah.
No, you should have told her, I am Connor McLeod of the Clan McLeod, because that always got the ladies in the movies.
Yeah.
We would joke that was the pickup line. That's how you get women. I am Connor McLeod of the Clan McLeod. I was born 500 years in the hills of Scotland.
I just liked his, like, the Christopher Lambert chuckle is the funniest thing I've ever heard, like, ever. It's like his signature thing.
We can come back to this later if you guys want to.
I'm sorry. Let's go to your book. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Adam, for looking for me.
Oh, you're welcome. Sorry about that, man.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, Adam, for blocking you.
Oh, no.
And thanks for joining.
Oh, yeah. Thanks
Block
for having me
Geek.
again.
So anyway, Adam, if you had a Highlander sword, what would it be? I'm kidding. Go. I'm sorry.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Well,
You got,
I just
Dark
finished
Reign.
that. I just finished.
you did.
Yeah, I just finished it yesterday.
And what did you buy it because I mean, what order did you read? I mean, did you just are you reading it in canon order, or did you just like, oh, I'm gonna pick this one up and read this one?
I kept getting recommended by, like, other YouTube channels, and I just bought the Audible version of it, and it was really good. I just finished the first book, so.
Oh, okay. So no spoilers for the other two books on this channel.
Yeah, no problem.
But yeah, I love, honestly, I love the cover. I think
Yeah.
it's just that the guy on the cover just looking at it, you can tell Path of Destruction, this guy is going to make some bad choices and he's going to do some dark things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty simple too. In the artist, I have that page saved here in the Essentials Guide, the Essential Reader's Companion, which tells you things like when it was published and the artist name. If I can find it. Sorry. We have the artist John Jude Palancar. John Jude Palancar. He did all of the covers.
That's weird because the rule of cover does not look like that style.
Yeah, the Rule 2 cover does not look good in my opinion.
Yeah, I would second it. The only thing they got right is Darth Bane's lightsaber is hooked.
Mhm.
The only plus. It's the only like art I can think of where Darth Bane's lightsaber looks correct. Because in Jedi versus Sith, it looks wrong. It's also purple for some reason in Jedi versus Sith.
And the book's written by Drew Carpation, which I guess that's how you say his name. I'm horrible with saying names.
I've always pronounced it Carpation.
Carpation. Okay. I know people reach out to him on Twitter all the time asking, hey, has Del Rey reached out to you? Has Lucasfilm reached out to you? And his response is always the same. Nope. But I'd love to do something.
I think he's still on the team for BioWare with the Tor stuff. I think he's somewhat involved with that.
Interesting. I wish if the new canon were to do one thing right, it would be to hire Drew Carpation or Carpation. Drew K.
Drew K.
I have a question. Are you going to block Chris now?
He's already been blocked. That's why he's not on here. That's
No,
like,
he's on.
That's who he was.
Matthew forgot to block him.
This is his one safe account.
Chris,
Welcome.
if you're just joining us, he blocked the blocked geek. I just read that now. That's funny.
Everybody's doing something goofy. Dylan, that's what
Way to go, Dylan. Way to screw it up.
That's what you do when you come here now. Is you make fun of me.
Well, I just back to the topic. I always thought it was funny that the entire Jedi Order gets destroyed because Bane bit someone's thumb in a mine once.
And the rest was history.
Yep.
Um,
Okay, Christopher says that Drew is no longer with BioWare and he is with Blizzard. So he's working with another Star Wars writer, Christy Golden.
Okay.
Get his next comment.
Talks about
I'm gonna be so gone.
I mean, we should
Anyway,
call someone who says Shatterpoint's good.
Ooh. Okay. Well, obviously, Chris, we only block people who think Yoda Dark Rendezvous is good. So,
guys, Quality Autism is right. I read this wrong. The artist for Dynasty of Evil and Rule of Two is John Van Fleet.
Still,
The layout
Oh.
is not done very well.
Quality for correcting Matthew. You're gonna get blocked now. I'm sorry.
Oh no! And then you're gonna get added into the call.
He feels the power now. He feels the power.
Who's next?
It's like a dark quickening.
But yeah, definitely would buy Path of Destruction based on that cover.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, I would buy based on that cover.
Now, Jeremy?
Okay, I picked some real trash here.
Ooh, here we go.
We got a new Dawn.
Oh,
I was curious about that one.
The only reason I picked it is I forgot to actually film a review for this last year and didn't realize it.
Yeah.
But I hate this cover. I think
Yeah.
it's terrible.
It's
The sad thing is it's not the worst new cover, but it's just pretty bad.
like I don't know the artistic terms for this, but I guess like in film you'd call it like the blocking or like how you set up. The setup is all good. You know, you've got the two characters back to back. You got stormtroopers. You've got like ships up. It's just the art style itself.
Yeah. So the thing is, these are Rebels characters, and
It looks like a young adult novel, and I thought that was now. Of course, when I knew this was coming out, that was going to be the first new canon novel. But I was like, wow, that's not the way to go. You should have gone with Dave Dorman. You should have gone big on your first new canon novel, and they went with something that honestly that looks like a young adult book.
I mean, to be fair, the story is very mediocre, just like the art. So you're getting what you pay for.
The cover artist is Doug Wheatley. Now, I believe, I could be wrong. Jeremy, you would know. Maybe Adam. Is this the only cover in the new canon that has like cartoony, like a cartoon cover?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's bad. Yeah. Master and Apprentice is like a nice painted cover.
Yeah, it's like a painting. Yeah,
Yeah, it looked more like a canvas than a book cover.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I-
a lot of
I
them
don't-
are like just blandly Photoshop covers, but not like the ones we've been like critiquing that were EU. They're a different style
Right.
of cover, like to be modern, or they're movie posters.
I remember when I first. This was the first book that came out in canon, and I remember seeing the cover and like kind of embarrassed.
And then Matthew
I-
cut out.
Dropped out.
Oh, is he frozen? Oh, there he is. There he is. There he is.
Yeah, you cut out completely, dude.
Did you hear me say that I bought it and I was embarrassed to buy it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, and then you kind of froze like this.
Okay.
Like I thought he was thinking. I didn't know it froze.
Yeah.
We need to make it freeze like that.
Jeffrey Watson said it was a boring story, bland story. Excuse me.
It is. It like nothing happens. The thing is, like it has like a cool looking villain. Like he's the coolest looking villain, but like he is like one dimensional bad guy of the week.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like villain of the week. Here he is.
Oh, hold on. Are we? Oh, is this what we're doing now?
I haven't.
Oh, great.
Do you guys have? Oh, you got swords.
There can be only one, Jeremy.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Welcome to
All right.
Sword Talk, everybody.
Oh,
Showing everybody our blades.
I see your sword is as big as mine.
The weebs have infested.
To get a hand forged katana from Japan.
See, Adam, you come prepared. You never know when one of them will be around.
I guess I could go get mine.
Me too.
Hey, okay, Chris. I'm sorry. And look, they left. They left. Okay, so now, welcome to Highlander Talk. It just, oh,
Oh, do we need to get my axe? Let's get my axe. Oh, Jesus.
Remember when this was a Dave Filoni spinoff?
No, I don't actually have a
We
sword.
got my axe too. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. See, I was about to do that, but my axes are on the wall back there and on the
I
floor.
forgot to put this one away.
All right,
the closest sword that I have up here is an old black powder rifle.
Nice.
This is the closest thing I have to a sword up here.
Bryce, your first message was funny enough. If I were on the stream, I'd get me. He corrected it. I'd get mine.
Well,
But I just like that. I'd get me. You would. Block him.
Welcome then, Adam.
Okay, we're way off topic. Would you
what did-
buy that cover? No.
yeah, no.
No.
No, for multiple reasons.
No.
Ones
But
that
I did.
Dylan, go. But I did.
All right. Y'all are bringing some trash ones. I have a little known, not even little known. I actually just looked him up, and he actually has 2 covers for books that were canceled: Escape from Dagu and Blood Elf. So maybe it's cursed, but New Jedi Order, Enemy Lines 1, Rebel Dream.
Oh, I forgot that was a cover. That's
Yeah.
good.
This is my I didn't know we were supposed to pick bad covers to like tear them into, because these are my 2 favorite covers for book and
Oh, no.
comic.
Dylan, these are just the ones I could grab. Just happen to be bad.
Getting faster, Matt.
I hate you. So we would threaten-
No, I'm glad you picked good covers.
Yeah.
Because it's not always. It was about bad covers the first time, and it can be about anything now. Because we covered some of the worst of the worst. Let's be honest.
yeah, we got through some of the trash. Although I have some more trash I found.
I'm fine with trash. I'm fine with trash.
And like
Hey,
Adam, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask Dylan, is that book any good?
Very.
Oh, okay.
I
I
agree.
would say in New Jedi Order, I would say this is probably the best of the non-hardcovers.
Oh, really?
Which
No, wait. It's a tie between this and Traitor.
What book is it in that series?
It is 2 books after Star by Star. So
Man, Dylan, I don't know if
11.
you're right or not. You could be right on that. I like Dark Journey though too.
yeah.
No,
I mean,
you
that's
could be.
just
No, you could be right though.
Well, Star by
For
Star.
paperbacks.
Star by Star, Dark Journey.
No,
and
you
then-
said paperback. You said paperbacks.
yeah,
Star by
paperbacks,
Star was a
not covering the
hardback.
5 hardcovers.
Yeah, so you
Okay.
may be right on that.
Fair, everyone. Everything in New Jedi Order did get collected in hardcover.
Well, I know that, but I'm just.
And Traitor and Dark Journey were single hardcovers as opposed to being put in a duology. So can we
'Cause-
count that?
This is the book. Matt talks about this all the time. This is the book that had the C-3PO scene when he's seeing the sparks.
It's a great scene, and they were. Who did I talk to about that? No, I talked to Stackpole about that. That's right. And I asked him what was that about, and he said it was an idea that they had that they just didn't develop. They didn't have time to develop. And I was like, that's a great idea. I love that scene. Honestly, if you were to tell me some of the best scenes in New Jedi Order, that might make. Hold on, let me see before I say that. It would definitely make my top 10.
Yeah.
I almost said top 5. It's a great scene, though.
There's
Because
two pretty memorable ones.
he's pondering his existence, and he's become sentient in a way. I mean, like, I don't know. It was just, I was like, ooh, I mean, what is it? What's going on here? And they just kind of let it go. But Michael Stackpole said it was an idea that they just didn't develop it. And I was like, it was an awesome idea.
Sounds intriguing.
The cover artist on that one was David Seeley.
Yeah, he did MedStar, Crosscurrent Rip, the MedStar duology, Crosscurrent Riptide. This one, the 2 canceled ones I mentioned earlier, and Outbound Flight and Shadows of Mindor.
Shadows of Mentor is a cool cover.
Jeremy,
Bryce said if he had New Jedi Order, he'd get me. I'm kidding. Okay, go ahead, Adam. Oh, do we all agree we would buy on that cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Adam.
Oh, no. You guys just mentioned Shadows of Mindor, and I actually bought that copy recently.
Oh, there you
now, not to do any spoilers, Jeremy, didn't you read that one about a year ago and say that it sucked?
Which
Pretty
one?
just boring.
Shadows of Mendor?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate Matthew Stover, so that's to me. I couldn't finish it.
Okay.
It's,
Okay, when I reviewed it, I got lambasted about not talking about how it was not well written. I thought it was fine, but I was more when I was reading it, I was very intrigued because like, wow, they are really diving deep into Marvel.
yeah, that I appreciate.
And-
what I don't appreciate is when you spend multiple pages describing how a TIE Defender works. Like, if I want to do that, I'll read a goddamn schematic. I don't want that in my EU book. Like, that's boring to me.
You're about to get blocked, by the way. I'm gonna. I was just saying that when to me, and you're right. Everyone was right on that. You know, maybe I should have commented more on how it was written. But the thing was, I remember, and maybe I should reread it again because when I was reading, I was like, oh wow, Black Hole. The stormtroopers and Black Hole, and I was like, this is great. And I was like, wow. I was just to me, continuity really put rose-colored glasses on it. I'll be honest. So maybe I should read it again with a different set of eyes. But I was just so impressed that he was just digging deep into Marvel.
Well, I mean,
And-
that's something that's like the positive of any of Matthew Stover's books is his continuity. He's like James Luceno and just weaving continuity in really well. But to me, when it falls, the thing that really makes the book fall apart to me is we know how it ends, and they try to do Luke's gonna go to jail because he committed war crimes.
No, I get it. It's just that I was just really anything that starts making continuity. It just got me excited because I like to see continuity. And to be honest, I mean it's one of the things that I probably enjoyed more books that weren't as good but only because they made connections is why I really enjoyed them. Like there are scenes in I think it's the Fate of the Jedi series that come straight out of West End Games. Heavy. They dug heavy into West End Games. And I was like, oh man, this is so good. But then I was thinking about it, I was like, would other people enjoy this? And I don't want to give anything away, but I don't think I am here. I'm not giving away spoilers here. But when Ben Skywalker sees spiders, is that non-Star Wars? You're like, wait, spiders? Yeah, he sees a bunch of, what's going on there? And is it too confusing and too weird for people? That's why I was wondering. If no one had read, because when he sees spiders, I know exactly where they are, and I know exactly what's going on. But that's because I've read through that West End Games adventure a billion times, and I was so excited they were, and everything from that West End Games adventure they were experiencing. And I was like, is this too weird for people?
Probably with certain things. To me, with Fate of the Jedi, Christy Golden's books to me are the weakest.
Obviously, yeah.
Written wise, like I feel bad saying that. It's the short end of the stick in a lot of my reviews, but like I just don't like the style at all. It was like they prepared to have Karen Traviss for this series, and then Karen Traviss had her blow up and like was done with Star Wars, and they just brought her in last minute to like, hey, can you bridge these things together and like write like 3 books?
Well, we could go on this, but let's go back to the covers. I'm sorry, Matthew. Please don't block me.
You're good. No, you're fine. We're talking Star Wars. That's
good. That's right.
I don't have any other cover. Hey, Adam, do you have any books next to you that you would like to judge based on the covers?
Hey, Adam, check it out. I got the entire Highlander novel series. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, Star Wars. Go for it.
I have one. Let me.
No, go ahead. Take your time. I'm going to show while he's doing that. This is the first cover.
I'll go ahead and throw you up here. How about
they're all pictures of the series.
Yeah,
which I was kind of bummed about, but I guess
held up right there. I see that one all the time at the half price.
Oh, Scimitar, really? And then Measure of a Man.
Yeah, that was the first one I got.
This is in publication order, by the way. The Path, Zealot, and I do like this one because it has Darius on it. But Shadow of Obsession.
That was a good episode that's taken from. I really like that episode.
Captive Soul. I love that episode. But this is a different story, I'm sure. And then White Silence. Fitz is on there. Look at that. That was a funny episode too. And then for worst cover for Highlander is the last one. It's called Weekend at Joe's, and I guess it's just a picture of Joe holding up his cane or something. But it's a lot of the actors and people who wrote short stories about Highlander. So like Richie, Joe, Mythos, and Ross, one of the Four Horsemen, the leader of the Four Horsemen, Kronos, and I can't recall who that is right now.
Can we just talk about the Four Horsemen storyline and how perfect that was?
Well, I don't want to hijack this to a Highlander. Adam's back, so go ahead, Adam.
Now, I've only read like a few chapters of this so far, but it was I don't know what to make of this, but Crucible.
Ooh.
Oh, that's changed.
That's a very interesting one to be reading.
Yeah, the back was a little I don't know.
I'm gonna be on. Oh, go ahead.
I like it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it because it shows the characters aged, and I really did enjoy it.
And, can I piggyback off of you saying age them well and it makes sense? Because sometimes, like in New Jedi Order, they age the characters on the covers, and sometimes it just doesn't look that great. Like it's not bad; it's just not that good.
I think the Japanese covers of New Jedi Order did a much better job with that.
Dylan, don't interrupt.
Oh, no, he's good.
This is what happens when you invite a telemarketer.
I was just kind of noticing, like Han Solo's like head looks like it's too small for his body.
It does. Yeah, I see that.
Okay,
I'm gonna make that.
Hey, blow that up. Yeah. You may have a point there. I've never noticed that. Wait, put it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I
Proportion
remember
wise,
seeing the
it
cover.
may be a little off.
I don't like the way the art on any of them. I mean, Luke looks kind of cool right there. Yeah,
Well, I mean, the way Luke
Leia
holds
does
his
not look like-
lightsaber is a little awkward, but I just like how they were aged a little bit, and I thought they were
Yeah.
aged appropriately.
Yeah,
But you're right. I've never noticed that about his head.
Yeah, but to be
it
honest,
shows the front cover.
would you say that's a reverse choices of one art thing, like an artistic choice?
See, that right there, I like that.
Yeah,
I
that,
like that front
I didn't
cover.
like the way Leia looks. Leia looks goofy to me.
No, pull Leia back up. This is not. Oh, I don't care. This is not fat Carrie Fisher. This is like thin Carrie Fisher here. I'm just saying.
See, this book was published after the. It was published after this, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, because I didn't see it in here.
In the expanded universe, Leia stayed in shape. I'm just saying.
She was on a bunch of missions in the new expanded universe, right?
Oh, Bryce is right. Han looks like Vince McMahon.
Oh,
Holy cow, he does. Show that back cover up. Holy cow.
The
so
back of the
what we're
front.
saying is, when we make the Crucible fan film, we'll have Vince McMahon.
We'll call it No Chance in Hell. Wow. Good call. All right, I'm sorry, GeeksAttic. What were you saying?
about. I was just asking if that's the last book, isn't it?
Chronologically,
Right.
yes. It wasn't the last one to come out from the expanded universe, but yes, that was Honor Among Thieves.
That's right. And then there's supposed to be Heir to the Jedi. That was supposed to be part of that, right? And then speaking of how you were,
They were ordered, they were not written.
Mhm.
And so, as James Luceno tells it, because he did Tarkin, he said, okay, so as I'm writing this, he said, I don't have to follow the Tarkin backstory from the expanded universe. They said no. So then he rewrote Tarkin's backstory.
But he puts things from Plagueis in there.
Well, of course he took stuff from his other books.
Yeah,
But he did that. He really tried hard to help the fans and get the fans in on buying his book, because he said, I respect the expanded universe. I'm going to try to stick some of that in there. And he thought mixing the canon would be fun, and that's not what we wanted. And I like James Luceno fine. But the story changes Tarkin. Whoa, you'd be tripping there. The story changes Tarkin's backstory. So
I just want to put out there that in the new canon, Tarkin would get in a knife fight with someone as an old man, and is like a psychotic murderer. It is the strangest thing I've ever seen.
where was this then? I don't remember this.
This is like from the Tarkin one-off comic from Age of Rebellion.
Oh, those. Yeah, I never picked any of those.
Garbage, by the way, but like Tarkin's like shirtless in it, and he has like a six-pack abs.
They're so
I
stupid.
agree with that.
It's like
Like what Jeffrey said, in the name of Heir to the Jedi causes nausea. Yeah, that was the one that had a bunch of math equations and noodles.
yeah, the force moving of noodles that Luke does to get the girl who died.
Yeah. I tried listening to that book again on audiobook, and I had to shut it off.
Well, yeah, Mark Thompson's Luke impersonation is not good. I'm just
That book was awful.
it's like one of the few voices he can't do.
That was actually the first Star Wars book my wife ever read, was Heir to the Jedi, and
Oh my god.
she was telling me about how hard Luke struggled to move that noodle.
Yeah, it was a pathetic book. It was the
I
Given.
just kind of picture Luke going,
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
he calmed down. He's like pulsating in his forehead.
It's like
Yeah.
So I have
a small bag of kidney stones.
I mean, that has to be the worst book of canon.
I
Worse
think
than
it's
Aftermath.
worse than
Aftermath was just a major disappointment. As to where
I don't know, because Aftermath's horribly written too.
it is.
But Aftermath is kind of funny. Oh god, is that train coming?
Oh, it's okay. It lasted a second. I get airplanes flying around out my window. Tinker. You know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
But I don't have any other books up here. Well, actually, hey, this is something different that I know Dylan's going to love. I just got this one in the mail. It comes out soon. I think it might have come out already. I don't know. I just got it. Sorry. February 11th. So next week, there's a kid's book.
Oh, okay.
Star Wars R2D2. You know, Matt might like this one. Have to pick this up for his twins. No, he won't because it's canon. I thought the cover's pretty cool.
It's cute.
For a kid's book, you know, the art's decent.
I kind of get that vibe that it's referencing that level in the Super Nintendo Empire Strikes Back where you play as Luke and have to find R2 and Dagobah.
Oh, yeah?
The nightmare level.
Oh, I hated that.
Dude. It's almost as bad. Have you ever played the Empire Strikes Back game on NES? That's hell. Playing through Dagobah on the NES one, it's impossible.
They can have it on Super Nintendo.
Super Empire Strikes Back is also near impossible,
but yeah, I mean, this is what I think Matt's gonna love about it. It's got the Ewoks.
Ewoks.
Too bad Matt's not here.
Yeah. But it's just a little kid's book.
all right.
But I thought for a kid, they did a pretty good job on the cover there.
I do have one book. I mean, I don't want to go over anybody's turn.
No, you go right ahead. I'm here.
Go right ahead. I have a pile of them that we can get to at some time. I even opened a box for another one.
I was very curious about this one, and I really wanted to buy it. And I got it at Barnes & Noble recently.
Oh, Coruscant Night, book 4. You do know that's book 4 in the series, right?
I did not, actually.
Okay, so that's follow-up to Coruscant Nights.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that book. That is one of the most expensive hardcovers in the EU. It averaged about $500 when you can get hardcover. I just bought it.
I thought that was going.
Is that the hardcover, Adam?
No, that's the paperback.
No, it's a paperback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
thought that was going to be the last book that I needed to complete my expanded universe collection. I was wrong. I still don't have a copy of Return of the Jedi in paperback.
You don't have it's Revenge of the Sith, I thought.
Revenge of the Sith. What am I?
You have like 20 copies of Return of the Jedi.
Gosh. I'm an idiot, guys. Hey, Matt, I was showing them this one.
Oh my goodness. What is that?
This comes out next week. This is new canon crap. But
yeah.
You're gonna enjoy. Guys, I want to do this spoilers. I want to show you the last page of the book. But, you got your Ewoks there, Matt.
Blasphemy.
Make you happy there?
Okay. I got a cover.
Okay.
You can blow me up now.
Okay.
This is my autograph with Adrian Paul.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We're bringing
To
in more
Matt.
bullets.
There can be only one. There you go. You're welcome.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Sorry, I had to check. Look at that mullet. It's just,
that mullet.
It's just wonderful. Yeah. You wish you had this. Bryce, if you had a mullet, you'd get me.
Oh, yeah. I agree with Chris.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Adam keeps wanting to change the conversation to Highlander. I don't know why.
Oh.
What did you do? I'm sorry, Bryce. I could have given my TGA my hardcover to Sith.
Oh.
It's all good.
Now you're going to get blocked, Bryce.
And no, I'm not going to do that.
Who's next? What cover's next?
I have one.
Okay. Ooh, that's a bad one.
Show it. Yeah.
Got this one today.
What?
That's Scourge. Another hard to find hardcover.
Was he the guy from Revan?
No.
Lord Scourge?
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Who is this on the cover? I genuinely thought it was Jaden Core, but I think I'm wrong on that. Like, Quality Autism said this isn't a Jaden Core book.
I just put it on myself. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know.
What am I doing?
I
go.
skipped it.
I'll be honest. It's not a good cover because there's a white background and a faceless Jedi.
Yeah.
It was not a good cover.
They forgot to put it in the background.
And about.
That cover tells you nothing, and it tells you not who's in it. Just a generic background. A white background with a generic Jedi. It's not a good cover.
Yeah, I agree. I would not have bought that book. In fact, I remember seeing that on the bookshelf before I was a fan of reading, and I was like, "That looks dumb," and I, left the store. I always liked going into bookstores, even though wasn't a fan of books. There was something about it. It was like destiny. It was calling to me.
It was the coffee shops.
Yeah. That old Barnes and Noble. Thank you, Starbucks.
So I have some covers and a little game we can play. I don't have all of them, but what if we were to rank the 108 issues covers?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, please.
So first up, we've
Interstate.
got the A cover, the
Nice.
main one.
Yeah.
I think that's the one I have.
Yep. me
I have
too.
Then we've got the B one.
Oh, never mind. I have that one. I have the B cover.
Mm.
A little bit of a variation. Then there's the C cover.
It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
That may be
And
my
then,
favorite so far.
well, this is my favorite.
Oh yeah.
I forgot.
Oh, I have never seen that one.
Who is that?
That's
That's Valiant.
Balance.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Balance.
and then we have the Scourge wannabe.
No.
And then there's 3 other covers, but they're like $50 each, and I don't have them because they're like $50 each. I
Was
know
that,
I'm not.
was
a
that
true
blank one
fan.
draw your own cover?
So with those covers, you take them to like an artist and they'll sketch for you at a con. That's why they make those. I used to have some where I had like artists sketch things for me.
He's referring to the last book, Scourge. And Chris is 0 out of Highlander. And C cover is what Jacob preferred.
Okay, so the one with everyone in it.
I like C2. I think that's my favorite. Besides the white cover.
I honestly prefer cover A. I like that one.
No, that white cover. Isn't that the last known picture of Borsophilia?
Spoilers, Matt.
Oh,
And everyone gives me crap for when I say spoilers. I'm just saying.
I'm making a joke.
Everyone dogpile on Jeremy Day. That's what this is.
Here we go from Bryce, Star Wars Highlander.
Guys, spoiler:
Misprint.
Lannery Brock is
A
dead by the
misspring.
time of
It's a
Crucible.
misspring. Bryce is gonna hate me. Bryce is gonna hate misspring.
Dylan,
Hey guys, there's a Highlander miss. You know what a Highlander misspring is? It's when Duncan gets some water and goes a misspring.
What? What, Jeremy?
I hate you.
What? It's an abject fact that Lannery Brock is dead by the time of Crucible.
I hate that so goddamn.
Spoilers, by the way.
I forget
Okay.
all these things.
Okay,
I forget about a lot of the stuff that I've read.
next cover. Who's
Okay.
next?
I got another. It's something I'm currently reading, so we can get the last one of these type of covers out of here. I think this
Okay.
is the only one we haven't judged yet of this
Nice.
style.
Mm.
Shadow Hunter.
I have a different cover of it. I have the newer cover.
Oh yeah, they redid the cover. Do you
Yeah.
have it on hand, Dylan?
Yeah, I'll get it.
But,
I look at it actually has Ray Park on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bryce says I'm throwing him og.
Throwing him off. I swear I'm doing this on purpose. I'm not doing this on
Og.
purpose. Okay.
You're throwing me og. Og. You're throwing. Show that one, Matt. You're throwing me og.
You're throwing me og.
It'd be awesome if he said egg instead. You're throwing me egg.
Throw the egg.
You're throwing me
Right.
egg. Do you get me? My misspring og.
Oh yeah, they I don't.
I like the other one better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one looks like a glamour shot. Darth Maul at the mall.
It's like Darth Maul.
Wait, so does that one-
profile picture.
Dylan, does that one have the short story at the end of it?
Yeah. I think
He
that-
slipped his
does.
dollar bill in the booth and went.
It does indeed have resistant.
Okay.
Or restraint, sorry. Resistant.
Darth Maul's giving that to his lady friend.
Oh, wow. James Lucino wrote that.
Showing me that cover, Dylan, really threw me og.
Hey, Jeremy, does that hardcover have the short story in the
No,
back?
Short Sword hadn't been written yet.
Okay.
This is the first time.
I'm gonna have to put so much stuff back my bookshelf after this.
All right. What would we buy this by cover?
I would buy Jeremy's cover.
Maybe.
Let me see him post it back up again. And wait, hold on a second. Jeremy, show me the.
Ooh,
It's just a still from the movie.
Yeah.
That's called Maul right there.
He's not even holding his saber. It's just floating there.
Yeah, dude. And he's a hologram, so he's doing that through space.
Okay. It's not the first time he's. Yeah,
Or
never mind.
if this is new canon and it's the Force Ghost using the Force, because they can do that now. Because that makes sense, people.
The other cover I would just be scared to read because I just see Darth Maul staring at me like this every time.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah. We've actually had trouble. We've had problems at Twin Sons bringing this one because like it scares the kids. Like, okay, for some reason this one the kids don't want because it's too scary, but they'll gladly pick up Death Troopers. So who knows?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, when you have them neck tendrils, baby.
Yeah.
Neck
Those
tendrils.
veins and blood dripping. It's. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer.
Which of those two covers would you prefer? I would prefer Dylan's, actually.
Yeah, you with a Legends
think.
banner on it? Yeah. So I think my paperback looks more like Jeremy's.
I mean, I don't like either one, but I'm just saying.
I'd rather have mine.
Yeah,
I don't. Okay, that's fine.
Adam.
I'd go with Jeremy's. Oh wait, is it my turn or?
Either way,
No, we're asking if you would get it, but it is your turn.
Oh, I would go with Jeremy's.
Okay.
I actually bought this for Christmas.
Ooh,
Oh yeah.
They have this at Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, the Han Solo trilogy,
Yeah.
and that's the AC Crispin, right?
Yes.
I too have that thing printing.
You know, I like that book. I mean, I like that cover and everything. I like the design because I saw that when it came out. I was like, "What is it? What?"
It's got Jabba on the back.
It's a little stylish, and I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
It's not much, but it's just stylish, and I kind of
Dig it.
dig it.
Yeah,
I
I saw it and I was just like, oh, gotta buy. You know.
Now, Matt, can you pull your Bantam printing of it so we can get a contrast?
Oh, can I? Hold on.
Because
he's consulting the archives.
of the Bantam printing of the 3-in-1. That's what I used to have, but it's super expensive now.
You asked Matt to find it. He's like, hold my blue milk.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I'll get it.
Let's see,
I like
Bryce,
how
what-
Matt doesn't have. I like how Matt doesn't have it memorized where it is on the shelf.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have like a little map you need to make for yourself?
Hmm
Oh, you know what? I only have the
Hey.
omnibus.
But that still
I have the paperback. The paperbacks are in my storage closet. I only have the 3-in-1 omnibus.
just pull the 3-in-1. That still has like parts of the covers. We can kind of get a general idea.
Okay. Yeah, it has a
Oh wow.
collage of all three.
I really like that actually.
I have not seen that edition out.
I used to have that.
Nice.
It's a cool one. It's expensive now. It's one of the more expensive Bantam 3-in-1s.
That's actually really cool. I like that one.
Yeah. It's like a collection of all three of the original books.
Yeah, really nice. The Science Fiction Book Club, you can't beat these.
Right.
They just did a good job with them.
It's a shame they don't do that anymore. I mean, do they do it for other books and just not Star Wars? And,
No, and to mine, they just did it for. Well, I know they did it for all their books, I'm sure, but they used to be so good because $6 for $1, then went to $5 for $1, then went to $4 for $1. But I was still getting it because it was still a good deal, and you couldn't get those hardbacks any other way. And that's really what got me to keep going back and re-signing up. And shoot, I signed my dad up. I signed my brother up. I mean, you know, I was several different names just so I could get different books.
yeah.
And I collected a lot of those omnibus copies, and the only one that I missed back in the day was one of their early ones, which was the Black Fleet Crisis.
Oh, I love this
But
story.
I've seen that one.
But we tracked down the author and got his email address back when that was email was dial up. It was dial up internet back then, and he wrote me right back and said, "Yeah, I got a copy, and I have a son named Matt, so you can have it." And he sent it to me autograph. It was my first autographed book and everything, and I was like, "Shut up." So, and I was super happy to have it because it was already out of print on Science Fiction Book Club. And then from then on out, I just started. I would wait, I would wait until they had 3 or 4 of them so I could get them all for $1, and then I'd buy them the next few when they came out in hardback, and then I'd wait and do it again. I think I got a lot of Robert Jordan Wheel of Times. I think most of mine are Science Fiction Book Club, to be honest.
Oh, that's awesome. Which I'm listening to the audiobook for book 1, Eye of the World, right now. And you've read
Still?
2 books before I've even made it to chapter 5.
I love how The Dragon Reborn is not about The Dragon Reborn, but I'd forgotten about that. My buddy reminded me, and I was like, I don't remember. And then I was reading, I was like, oh yeah.
The voice guy that's reading it is not the best in the audiobook.
I told you I'm listening to the audiobooks when I'm watching the girls, and then when they go to bed, I'm reading. So I'm doing both, and I agree. I think and his wife that takes over every once in a while.
Oh, I know.
They're wooden.
Yeah, and then it's like when they do the opposite sex, when he's doing the female voice, it's just like, man, can you stop? Just talk normal.
Who is it?
The audio.
You know what? I don't remember. Matthew may remember. I just
I'll
don't.
pull up my Overdrive, which is the app. It's probably going to play, so I'll hit pause, and I'll do my overview. Table of contents doesn't show me.
Doesn't show you who's reading it. It's not very. I don't think the guy's very good. But the thing is, though, they read so slow.
Yes, they do.
I'm going, oh my gosh.
What was the name of the book again?
It's the Eye of the World, the Wheel of Time series.
Yeah.
It's an awesome series so far. I mean, I only made it to the middle of book 4, Fires from Heaven. I believe that's book 4.
Is it Robert Jordan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. I mean, the guy can write. That's for sure.
It says it's narrated
Fires
by
from Heaven is book 5.
Michael Kramer or Kate Reading.
Okay, yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
That sounds right. They're good. I'm enjoying rereading them. I'm remembering a lot more, and than I thought I would. So
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. It's just there's a lot, and I want to read Highlander, but to be honest, I am trying to power through the Wheel of Time, and I'm trying to read the Silmarillion, as well. Just kind of bouncing both.
I hate you. I hate this so much.
Chris.
It's too bad, Chris, that Matthew doesn't want you on this channel.
Hey,
It's okay. It's okay. Who's next on the book cover?
Well, we haven't said what cover. Will we go with the cover that Adam put up?
I told you I liked it. I thought it was neat.
I'd go for it.
It looks like a schematic of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's intriguing. Like I said, it's not like what you would call like beautiful, wonderful art, but I like the style.
It's also got like.
Oh, what's that? Hold on. Blow that up again. What is this?
That's Jabba's palace. That's the back page.
Oh, I love how there's a ribbon bookmark included.
Yeah, for those Barnes and Noble leather-bound books.
Yeah,
It's really well made.
I have one. I have the Jurassic Park 2-in-1.
I had that.
Oh, I have
It's
that one
great.
too. Yeah.
I've read that one. I think 2 or 3 times now. It's great.
Yeah, I've read it recently too. I love those books.
Dylan, would you pick that up based on the cover?
Yeah.
yeah. I remember
Dylan would, because he would have thought it was a schismatic book, and then we would have been pissed.
He would have thought it was an Armada book.
No, maybe so.
And just figure out that he could watch other people play Armada all day for 2 days.
They also have these types with the first 3 movies. I think I have that.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
those too.
Yeah, it was just
Covers for those.
yeah. There's like a Vader one, a
They have it
3PO
for
one,
each
and a
movie. Or is it?
And a Leia one.
I have an
I have a Leia one,
R2D2
too.
one.
an R2 one as well. But I
It's
think it's the
whole
full
trilogy, in all of
isn't
them,
it?
right? Just different.
The original
covers?
trilogy.
Okay.
I can.
Collect them all, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Surprised they don't have a Yoda.
Yeah.
But, does anybody else have another book?
I mean, yeah, I got another comic here.
Go for
Okay.
it.
One of Matt's favorite series. It's Requiem for a Rogue right here.
The world.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Devorian on the cover.
Is that Wedge on the cover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What in the world is that behind Wedge?
It looks like that devil thing from the Mos Eisley
Bothan.
Cantina.
That's supposed to be a Bothan.
That's
Yeah,
just
the boss.
That's a Bothan?
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to hold this cover up.
no. It's one of the 1980 toys, a Boglin.
Yeah. It looks more like has more Boglin look than Bothan. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Bothans look like maneless lions. At least their heads do.
Yeah. Kind of like a dog almost. I think I remember seeing one of them.
It's such a bizarre cover. Like I always wonder with these new like the Marvel Epic collections, why they pick the covers they do. Because the same with the other one I showed, the Legacy. What was it? No, it was the Old Republic Volume 2 with the Vector cover on it. Like, why would you put that on there to promote your Old Republic book? Like,
I mean,
I don't get it.
Why have they not reprinted in their Old Republic volumes Tales of the Jedi?
Yeah, seriously.
Tom Beach.
I guess, but they didn't.
But he's got a book coming out. He's got a book that's
It doesn't matter. He would get royalties.
But still, like they've reprinted the Tom Veach stuff before, like several times.
Okay, then why haven't they done it then?
I don't know why they haven't done it. Why did they print the Brian Wood stuff before they printed Legacy? Like it's just they pick things at random and they reprint.
Maybe. But I just don't think they want to pay him anymore.
Because Brian Wood is trash, and like that's common knowledge for like most people. I think that's a general consensus that everyone hates that Brian Wood Star Wars comic run. Like it is like one of the lowest points in the EU, and it's not even EU. I can't.
Bryce said they could be, or Bothans are like horse and lion me. Bryce, what would lion me? Is lion me if you were a Thundercat? Is that what you're asking me to do? Imagine you as a Thundercat. Lion me. Oh.
Lion-O?
Lion-O? No, go back to the one previous, Matt.
Oh, man.
Or Bothans are like lion me. Horse and lion me. Dude, Bryce as lion me is scary. But Bryce crossed with a horse and looking like a lion, now that is bonkers.
Is this that new Cats movie I'm hearing so much about?
Bryce, I love you, man.
Oh my gosh.
Now there is a Star Wars comic that came out, part of the new canon. I can't remember what issue it is, and it's driving me crazy. But it is the worst Star Wars cover that I've ever seen.
Mm.
Did
they rip it? Did they trace over someone's fan art for it?
It's worse than any sort of fan art that I've ever seen. I'm scrolling through on Google right now trying to see if I can find it, but it's not. Maybe.
No, dude, you haven't looked at enough Rule 34 Star Wars fan art.
Oh man, no, this one it looks like a.
Dylan understands what I'm talking about.
I'm just trying to imagine Dylan as a lion now.
I can't find it. It's not pulling up, but it's got Luke Skywalker in the front. He looks like a woman. You guys know what I'm talking? He's like piloting the Millennium Falcon. It looks really bad. It's embarrassing. Some of the stuff that you see come through, it's like, who approved it?
What was it? Is it a comic book?
It's a comic book. It's part of the new Marvel thing.
Oh, okay. I don't know
But
that
it was
one.
like 2
Oh,
years
I know
ago.
what you're talking about. It's him and Han on the cover.
Yeah, I can't remember what issue it was. It's not. I'm scrolling through all the covers right now, and it's not.
It's in the
pulling
early
up.
20s.
early 20s. I keep thinking it's like maybe
Back,
issue
I'm gonna
5
put
or
all this
something.
away.
Adam, while he's looking that up, I did find there's a library in the next parish next to me that has the Highlander audio, and there's a girl that lives in that town that's going to give me her access so
Oh,
I can
nice.
hopefully listen to them. I talked to my library about getting them, and they haven't responded back, so I hate them. I mean, how many requests do those librarians get these days in the year 2020? 0. You know, so they could have gone and went the extra mile to find those audio dramas for me. But I think this girl, she has a book fee. Who has a book fee at the library? And she's like 21. Who are you? Why are you going to the library? Anyway, so she said she's going to pay that, and she's going to give me her number or library card so I can sign in to the app.
Nice.
Yeah, that was nice.
Is it the Overdrive app?
No, it's Libby actually, because wait, is that Overdrive?
I believe it's all connected to the same thing. Yeah.
Hold on, do you have an account for Overdrive?
Yep. That's how I listen to all my audiobooks.
Hold on,
It's all free.
Libby. Is it Libby? Is Libby Overdrive?
Eye of the World. For some
Dude,
reason,
you
they
probably
no-
have it. I don't know. It's called the app is called Libby, and I need access to it because the one at Hoopla is mine. Mine, but this one is Libby. It might be Overdrive though. That sounds right.
So I think I've seen like when I've logged into our library like website, I see like a little advertisement, like a girl holding a clipboard or something. I could be wrong.
I don't know. This is an Apple reading a book. Something stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, it has a little. Let me see, girl.
How can an apple read a book? Is that why it's stupid? Because it's wrong. Apple.
No, it seems to have a girl. Oh no, it's a girl. It's a girl. When I
How did you mix up a female
No, she has her head in a book. So look,
apple?
she has her head. That looks like an apple reading a book.
Oh,
But
yeah.
then when you touch the head, watch.
Dude, I don't want to ever
pops
hear you
up, and there
say
she goes.
touch the head of anything ever again.
Shut it. Anyway,
I'm just saying. I don't want to.
this is a misspring, okay? Anyway,
This sounds like boomer talk.
I need that access. I need that access.
Okay, it's issue number 17. This is the worst. Okay, I gotta try to blow this up.
I don't
Yeah,
know
blow
if
it up.
that's the worst cover of that series. There are so many bad ones.
Number 7. It doesn't get any worse than number 17. I'm gonna save this so I can get it full screen. It's so bad. I remember when I saw this and I bought it, and I was just one of those other things that you're like kind of embarrassed to buy. Okay, I'm zooming up on Luke. This is Luke Skywalker.
Oh my
Wait.
God.
Make your screen big. Make your screen big.
Yeah,
Okay, let me get my mouse over here.
All right, ready?
Oh my God.
Hi
That is
guys.
Luke Skywalker.
Hi guys. The force is strong in me,
Hey everybody!
but the Y chromosome isn't.
I've got so many midichlorians.
He looks like he put his profile picture on Facebook into one of those apps on Facebook that can change you into a different gender.
Yeah. Oh, hey, and look, here's Han kind of like looking at him like, or her. He's like, what?
Wait, why am I attracted to my best friend now?
Luke, what happened?
He turns it into Chewie. He goes,
Oh no, Chewie. Do you think a guy like me and a girl like him?
This wasn't how the love triangle was supposed to be.
Had episode 4 been done in 2019, I guess that's, or 2020, that's how it would go.
So I went back to my bookshelf to put everything away, and actually found this little gem that I don't know if a lot of people have this cover or not because I don't see it talked about.
We
but
didn't rate my last one. Would
Ooh.
we buy that? Would we buy
Oh,
this penis thing? On
eh, it's not bad.
I wouldn't want to for the cover, but I like Wedge Antilles, so that would probably be the only reason
Yeah, I'd
why.
probably get.
Wedge
Yeah.
is the only thing interesting about that cover. I would agree.
I'd walk past it.
Bryce, if we name this episode, it's going to be called Lion Me. Okay.
No, what was it? I'll change it to If I were in the stream, I'd me too. What was it?
I'd get me. I'd get me.
I like I'd Me Too better.
Yeah. Give me a book back cover episode 2. I'd yeah. I'll have to find
I'd
that.
lie in me too.
We'd all lie in me too.
I actually found that later after Dylan goes, I actually have a first edition from the 70s of one of the original.
Ooh,
So go
that's
ahead.
probably gonna beat this then. It's just something. I just looked at it and I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone talk about this. So this is the 2014 edition of the paperback of the original trilogy.
Oh,
I've
wow.
seen that before.
That looks like the DVD, the old
Yeah.
set.
Yeah. Even the VHS, right? The VHS came out in that box.
I actually
Yeah,
got this at Celebration Anaheim at a signing for free. I got it. Alan Dean Foster and James Caan. So I have 2 of the 3 authors of the people who are responsible for this.
I knew you met James Caan.
Yeah, he was at Celebration Anaheim. Nice guy.
Don't put it on me.
Sorry.
Hey,
And then
Dylan, I gotta be honest. I hate that cover.
Really?
I hate it.
What?
It looks like the DVDs, and I don't like that. It's so confusing. I would think that was a DVD special edition, whatever, like behind the scenes book. I wouldn't get what that was. I know what it is, but I'm just saying, just looking at that book, I'd pass it by.
I actually
It's- yeah,
saw. Go ahead.
The VHS tapes were released that way too, and I have that.
I have that. No, I have that. Oh, yeah, I have that too. I think.
I saw
But,
that.
but the thing is, we're basing it off the cover. We're judging. I think we're
Right.
still calling this judging a book by its cover, unless Lion Me is the new one. So I'm just saying that I don't think I like that cover. But okay, so Adam, what do you think? Do you like that cover?
Honestly, yeah, I kind of like I like how Darth Vader is shown. I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know. It's kind of nostalgic because I think I had the VHSs when I was a kid, and I believe it was that cover.
That's fine. Jeremy,
Jeremy is on mute, I think.
Am I?
no. Do you like the cover? Yes or no?
Not really.
Okay, good. It's 2-1. Matthew,
I enjoy it. I like it. It's just this nostalgia thing, you know. It's like, oh, I remember the VHS.
I'm not. I mean, nostalgia wise, I'm like, oh, I remember picking the DVD up at FYU, but like,
I remember
I
picking
don't
up
know.
the
There
DVD
are
at Blockbuster.
original trilogy 3-in-1 covers out there.
So,
I-
sorry, Adam, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I was at Vintage Stock recently, and I saw that they were selling the original trilogy VHS with that same cover for $3.
Really?
I was like, ooh.
That actually might be more expensive than the VCR.
So,
I don't know.
isn't that
Where buy it from?
the
More
VHS
expensive than the VCR? Oh, I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you.
Oh no, you're good. I was just going to comment about I remember there was the gold and the silver, and I can't remember if the gold was the widescreen and silver was the.
Gold was full screen, silver was widescreen.
Okay, so that sucks that your book is not in full screen.
I have silver.
Actually, I had silver too. Silver is the better one. Widescreen is better. 16:9 will always be better than 4:3.
There are 16-year-olds who have no clue what we're talking about, by the way.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
back in our day,
Fights I had with my parents about their love of full screen.
Speaking
like
of 6-year-olds,
My parents still use component cables on the Blu-ray player. It drives me insane. I'm like, you're gonna watch your Blu-ray that you paid extra money for in standard def.
Matt, I think you have turned Bryce to the dark side. Says
Well,
Jake.
I wish I would have turned him to spell check.
Ouch.
out of the park.
I'm kidding, Bryce. I'm kidding.
That was one of the most exciting things, Jacob, for me whenever I saw the special editions after playing Shadows of the Empire, was seeing Dash Rendar's ship leaving Mos Eisley. I thought that was awesome. The Outrider.
I forgot the Outrider was in there.
Yeah. I love that. I actually have that spaceship in my attic, which is right there. all my Star Wars toys in a box.
That makes a good segue because I grabbed Shadows of the Empire.
Oh crap!
It's Matthew's favorite Star Wars book.
Can we just start putting on the erotica music now?
I'll be honest. I don't mind that cover.
I love it.
Let me get my saxophone.
The back.
Yeah.
I think it's a good cover.
Yeah, so do I. It's a really good cover.
Yeah.
I'm like iffy on it.
I like that Luke has a yellow lightsaber. I thought that was pretty cool.
Dylan, you're just miffed because I didn't like your last cover. Shut up.
No, yeah, I enjoyed the cover. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I
And
thought
the sound-
I always wanted to read this book. In fact, actually, this is one of the ones my parents read to me. Not the scene the infamous scene of that. I didn't know that was in there until
How old were you when you read it?
when I read Shadows of the Empire, 14.
Oh gosh, you probably locked the door.
No, you have to
Mom doesn't come in.
I had at this point I was very seasoned in Stephen King and the way his nasty writing because I had read it at the age of 12.
Mom, can I dress up as evening wear Caesar for Halloween?
That's horrible. And what was the author's name? Steve, right? The author?
Steve Perry.
Steve Perry, yeah. I'm trying to find it in this this book here to see who the artist of the cover was. Because I think the soundtrack is a completely...
I'm so sorry, Bryce.
What?
I'm so
What? What did I miss?
it just happened again.
Red Harvest and Mall Lockdown Seavers.
Cover?
Are you seeing this? Seavers. No, Seavers.
Oh, I see it. I see
They're
it.
kind of like they're the cousins of the Reavers in Firefly.
Oh, dude.
They're called Seavers.
You know, that's something Joss Whedon would write now because he has no idea.
Okay.
Actually, Caesar had a bad case of the Seavers, which is why he had to wear that silk see-through robe.
The cover artist was Drew Struzan. I've heard that name. Drew Struzan. Is he a comic book artist?
He's done other Star Wars covers.
Drew Struzan. Has he done the posters to the movies?
Yes, he did he did all of the
Okay.
he did the 97 special editions and he did the prequels.
Okay.
Dang, that is a good memory.
I only know this because I just watched an episode of Red Letter Media where Colin referenced Drew Struzan as like a joke, and like when they were talking about The Last Vampire on Earth and how terrible that that cover was, and they were like, "Oh, it was obviously by Drew Struzan."
That's funny.
Yeah.
I know the things I remember. This one was. I got this one. This is obviously by Drew Struzan.
Oh no.
Oh,
Let's look at
it. Again, like...
This is the most false advertising of the EU ever.
Oh, it is.
Because this Rex is in maybe one chapter. This book is garbage, by the way. Can we just throw that out there?
I honestly didn't know that was Rex until I saw Clone Wars in the title. I was like, what is that? The glare was throwing me off.
No, this book wrecked continuity for me personally, and I take personal offense with that. Who's making those noises on the mic?
What do you do? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's probably Geek.
it. No, it's not me. I had my mic on mute.
Yeah, I can hear it.
I hear nothing.
It's gone now.
Yeah, it stopped.
Well, anyway, back to Wild Space.
That was Og.
All right, who's gonna get blocked, guys?
I vote Jeremy.
Why?
Bye.
I'm the Geek's Chamber of Passion. I am needed in this episode. I'm a key part of this.
You know what?
Are
I'm
you
gonna go
needed?
find-
Matt has enough kids.
I am the Senate.
Oh, there you go.
I should have been the Senate.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get a cover.
Go get a cover.
I
Anyway,
got
let's
one.
talk
While
more
he's
about
getting-
how bad Wild Space is.
Can we just talk about how Wild Space wrecked continuity in this
Well,
dating
I want to talk about the Four Horsemen. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, look, I
From
forgot.
season 5 of Highlander. Adam, have you seen the Highlander TV series?
I have not.
Oh man. Okay, I'll be honest.
It's awesome.
Season 1 is a little rough.
While they're doing that,
It's a little rough because they're trying to get their feet, trying to get their characters down.
Hmm.
But Grayson is a good villain in season 1. Darius is a good character. Joe's a good character. They're setting it up. And then season 2, it really starts taking off.
Is Joe in season 1, or does he just show up at the beginning of season 2?
No, he finds out about him in season 1. Because remember, season 2 is the Renegade Watchers storyline.
That's right. Yeah.
And Ross is a fantastic villain. The villain in 3, I can't remember. He's the one with his throat that was slit and he couldn't talk very well. Do you remember his name?
Yeah,
I can't remember his name, but he was good. But that's when Fitz is introduced, one of the best fan favorite characters ever. And then season 4 is the Dark Quickening series, which was really good. And then season 5 is just, I mean, they explained the Four Horsemen and said that they were all immortals, and it's just a wonderful. And I'm not going to give it away, but they only show 3 of them for the longest. And they keep talking about the 4th one, Death. They're going to hook up with Death. And when Death comes, they're all going to ride together. And there's a twist. And isn't that isn't that episode 100 where they reveal who Death is?
I think so, yeah.
And it is the pinnacle, is the highest point that Highlander ever gets. On their 100th episode, they deliver. Now, that's something. On a 100th episode, a lot of these TV shows go 100 episodes, and their 100 is nice, but I don't think anyone beats, if that is, because I think that is the 100th episode where they reveal who Death is, and that is the best Highlander episode ever. It does not get any better. But it's a powerful scene. There's a lot of good acting going on, and it hits you. Your mouth is on the floor. Jeremy, am I not? I just recently watched this a couple of years ago again. I just love that scene, how they played it out. So Karen Miller, she just didn't do that good a job at Wild Space at all. I thought it was boring. But then again,
the irritating thing with Wild Space is it's a necessary story because we didn't have if Obi-Wan doesn't like politicians, why is he so buddy-buddy with Bail in Revenge of the Sith?
Right.
So it needed to be a story. I don't think it needed to be a novel, though. It could have been
a short story.
Insider short story. Well, the thing with it, the thing that really irritates me in Wild Space is I'm trying not to drop the F-bomb here because it's how janky the timeline became. So when Anakin's knighted, a year and a half, 2 years into the Clone Wars?
Pre-TCW, yeah.
Yeah. He's now knighted 4 months in. So everything that happened to him in that year and a half, 2 years is now in 4 months. Doesn't make any sense at all. And it's not brought up, period. And that's the theme with all of Karen Miller's books is she'll talk about Anakin has PTSD issues, but doesn't bring up like Jabin like every other Clone Wars author does.
Hidden Gems, I'm glad you are enjoying the series, but we're trying to talk about Star Wars right now.
I also like Bryce's comment. There's this episode 2, judging a book by its cover, the ballad of Bryce's typos and ribs for Matt. Ribs.
I didn't know Louisiana was famous for its ribs.
My last one was pretty good, I gotta admit. Bryce has got to get it. He's got a good attitude.
So Matt, you had a new cover.
I picked up 2 different things. I've got 3 things. Okay, they're books, not I'm doing the Bryce, mixing up my stuff. I've got 2 things here that are paperback, and one thing that is completely different. It's an audio drama. Matt, you probably do know more about this one than anybody else, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
I'm gonna go ahead. That's on tape. It
Yep.
supposedly has a little bit extra that you don't hear in the short story, but to be honest, it's not that much.
It's not. There's the back if anybody wants to.
But I did get that. You know what? When I found out that it had extra, EU in the audio drama, my cousin just also happened to pick it up because he buys books by the dozens and sells them on eBay.
Yeah.
That's how he makes some of his money. And he found out, he said, "Oh, I can't sell a book on tape." And so he said, "Well, maybe Matt will want this." And I swear, right after I had a conversation with someone, I said, "Well, I need to track that down." He showed me it and said, "Hey, do you need this?" I went, "What?" I said, "You got it." "Yes, I do." He said, "You can have it. I can't sell tapes. They don't sell." I was like, "Oh, yeah, dude. I've been wanting to listen to this." And I actually have a tape player.
Yeah.
My wife got me one of those, 5-in-1, the CD record player, tape player things.
Don't use the record player.
I use the record player all the time.
Those cartridges are so bad for your records.
What do you mean? Oh, those.
They'll mangle for a while. Please don't tell me it's a Victoria.
I don't know. It's one of those. It's got the. It does the little LPs. It does the big records. It does. Let me see. It's a 5-in-1. The radio. Who listens to that? And then CDs and tapes.
Would you guys buy that if it was a book cover?
Yeah, I think it's.
I would.
Cover.
I mean, this dude looks like he just. Sorry, it looks like he just
blow your screen up.
Yeah, this guy right here looks like he just sat on something and it went in somewhere he didn't want it to go.
He sat on a Lego.
Yeah, yeah. Big
It's
Lego.
the Star Wars version of Planet of the Apes, is what it looks like.
And this guy. That's weird. It's like those masks.
That's a female. Thank you very much.
Excuse me. She looks like one of those weird
Check
masks.
privilege, Matthew.
Huh?
Check your privilege.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Sorry. But Kenobi looks good, and that guy, the ugly dude that sat on something looks good, but she is atrocious.
Kenobi looks proud, like he just passed a Master Deuce into the geek's bathroom, and he's riding high.
Yep.
He came out of the geek's chamber at passion, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Got some Hershey cereal.
I can't wait to try it.
We need a review of that.
I'm finishing off what we have is we have some Christmas Crunch left over from Christmas. That's Captain Crunch Christmas style. So I'm finishing that off, and then it's going to be Hershey cereal.
No matter what.
So I actually got one that I was wanting to show you guys.
Okay.
Sure.
This one's a first edition from 1976. I think it was written by George Lucas himself.
I have that.
I love the Robert Quarry art.
Alan Dean Foster, the first edition.
I like that cover.
Where did you find your copy?
My in-laws used to do like the Storage Wars thing. Like they bought
Yeah,
and they had this in there, and I asked if I could have it, and they said yeah. So
that's awesome. I found one at the Half Price bookstore for 99 cents. So, heck of a deal.
Bryce says pretty much me now suffering Matt's reviews of my tups. Bryce, I have not once mentioned your tups, and I would not do that in GeeksAttic's videos. I mean, maybe at a nightcap, I would never talk about anyone's tups.
Is it like?
Although I did see Dylan's tups one time. It was while we were traveling at Gen Con.
It was a terrible experience for everyone involved.
It's all right. Dylan has nice tups.
Hey, GeeksAttic, that's funny that you mentioned for like 99 cents, because when I was checking the publication date, I actually found like a $2 bill in here.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Ooh, what year is it from?
Oh, geez, I don't know.
Well, yeah, for those of you who don't know, Dylan
2003, I think.
What am I talking about?
Dylan collects currency and likes to, while we're recording a podcast, go through every quarter possible. It has made editing the last 2 Legends podcasts a nightmare.
You said it was okay.
I didn't realize how loud it was. I'm having to go in and lower Dylan's volume. I am.
Does Dylan, when you talk too long, does Dylan start playing Armada and go pew pew?
No, he just throws the quarters for the sound effects.
Jacob is out.
Yeah, Jacob bounced.
Later, Jacob.
You're going to miss out on No Prisoners.
Oh no.
Show it.
It's slightly better.
Yeah.
Well, it has Karen Travis, so it's going to be good, and then it's not going to be good.
No, the thing with No Prisoners is some of the best fanfic I've ever read.
Actually, is that the one with Callistia?
Yes.
Yes,
No.
actually, that's the one Karen Travis book I don't mind.
Dude, I really liked this book. To be
I
honest.
thought it was good.
It's definitely they're in Spice Iraq. It is the planet of Iraq that they're on.
Right.
Like, and it is the most post 9/11 Star Wars book I've ever read. But it is the best book that has Captain Rex as the main character. It's really nice to get his perspective on things, and then his relationship with Captain Pelion is really fascinating in the book. And then also Callistia's affinity for machines is established, which will come into play in Phantom. And there's a whole bunch of things that are established in this book that I wish we had more of. The only downside is Ahsoka's annoying in it.
When is she not?
In Stealth and Siege, she's actually really useful in those two books.
Okay.
Like she and Obi-Wan's Fling of the Week have some cool moments in Stealth and Siege, mainly Stealth. The Gambit duology. Dylan, second me on this.
Still reminds me of the fact that Stealth and Gambit had another Obi-Wan love interest.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a love interest. That's just someone he bedded that week.
Wait, hold on, guys. Wait. There are no typos. Well, actually, yeah. There's a minor typo in there, but
Hold on, I don't mind Bloodline by her, though having brought back Camino and retconning stuff from Young Jay Knights. I don't mind Bloodline by her. She wrote Bloodline. Got it.
we get there's no
What did you
there by T and no period at the end of the sentence either. So
Wow, you grammar police there.
We weren't
Try
gonna
again.
Matthew. Are you gonna block him now?
No. Wait till it
But,
gets that thing done right.
Brian,
I will notice there is a reason Christopher Nelson hasn't posted yet because y'all missed it, but Matthew blocked him a long time ago.
No.
I don't
I
know
saw it.
if we'd have a lightsaber duel or if it'd be a Highlander or sword duel, because there can only be one.
Well, I would go up against Filoni in a lightsaber battle, but all I have to do is make pictures move and
You got
distract him, and I have that battle won.
We've been saying that joke for like
And yeah,
5 years now. I don't know if anyone knows the origin of it.
oh, that's true. It's too old now.
That is a
Now
mind-
I have both Matts against me. You have my permission to see. Okay,
Crying.
thank you to see.
C.
To cry, no, see what?
That's a roll.
Speaking of C novels at best,
See your tups?
I don't think I've ever seen her top. I don't want to.
No, especially the Lion Me version.
Mm. But yeah.
But someone make some fan art of a lion me tup.
A Lion Me tup.
Yeah.
I bet it's so og. We can do this all day. Anyway, Adam's like, man, I accepted this because I thought it'd be fun, but these guys are really kind of stupid.
Oh no.
I used to
No,
look up to them.
No,
Matt, I
I'm
wonder
having a
if
blast.
Callum has disappeared as soon as we brought up the calendar.
Oh, Callum's a coward.
Uh-huh.
He ran away. He's like, oh no, they're bringing up the calendar. I gotta go, guys.
Doesn't he live in Australia?
Oh, I'm sorry. He said, I gotta go, mates.
Mhm.
Here you go.
I'm sorry. That's what he said.
And then he ran upside down to the.
To get his Tams.
Dude, don't you talk about the round world. We all know the world's flat.
All right.
All right. Who has another color?
I'm out. I'm
I got one.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Adam's got one.
I think this is probably my last one that I got.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I was also going to do a bad one. See, this cover, not bad.
Wait, I thought we weren't supposed to talk about Highlander.
I'm starting to think we need a jar for every time someone says Highlander to
That would
put
be awesome.
Oh, I've
we've gone
been putting a nickel in this jar every single time one of you has said Highlander. So
You throw that away. I don't want to.
Hey, we haven't talked about Highlander in a very long time.
Matthew's like, please make Payload the Geek's Attic.
It keeps the lights on, guys.
but yeah, Dawn of the Jedi. That cover's not bad.
That book's pretty good.
And that book is not in.
Please kick Jeremy out of this. Yeah, please.
Because I'm a Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void supporter because Tim Levin's a good writer.
I've only finished.
You know what? Tim Levin is writing the not the next Firefly book, but he's writing the one coming out in October. I'm gonna buy it.
See, okay.
I'm gonna buy it. But hopefully it'll be better than that garbage.
I like his alien work. Like he's done some AVP stuff.
And we've talked about Dawn of the Jedi. I just don't like the style of the writing.
I don't like the book at all.
I thought it was a fresh take on Star Wars.
I've only made it to like the 3rd chapter.
Good luck.
Please boot
Are
Jeremy.
you currently like trying to make it through?
I haven't read it in months, so I kind of like
I
saw
get
this
the
book
audiobook.
and then I'm just like, ooh, like this new book that came out, like ooh, the Han Solo trilogy,
Yeah.
I'd get the audiobook. I wouldn't have been able to finish that if it wasn't for the audiobook.
Adam, is that the one you're currently reading? Is that what I heard you just say? Or you just tried and then you went on to another book?
I tried and then I went on to another book. The one I'm currently reading is I'm about to start the 2nd Darth Bane book.
Good.
Right.
And I'm actually, this is from last week, but I'm starting to reread Batman Nightfall again. But
I love Batman Nightfall.
We'll have to do another. I guess next time we'll do a full Batman talk. I can bring up all the trades that I have. I have quite a few Batman trades that a friend gave me before he moved back to England.
Matthew, we need to boot Jacob for saying that Starkiller is a good character. I'm going to fight tooth and nail about Force Unleashed. This is one of the worst things the EU ever crapped out. Just garbage. Utter garbage. Worse than Baloney's Clone Wars. But I will say that's all I'm blue in the face.
Well, this is the last one I got since we were going with the trash of the EU. And I don't know if you guys talked about this one last time. I can't remember. But
oh no, we did not hit Lost Treasure.
oh no.
That is a terrible cover.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, I was curious about this. Is that Old Republic or is that?
yes,
And
kinda.
oh,
I kind of heard somewhere that
It's Old Republic through the years.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
and then it's not. Then
This isn't really a spoiler. It's just a description. During I believe it was the Hyperspace War, or maybe it would have been, it would have been the Hyperspace War. There were like 2 Sith ships, and one of them got like hyperspace traveled into the future somehow, and the other got marooned on a planet like in the Outer Rim that no one's talked about, or no one ever found until the time of Fate of the Jedi. So the Sith that were marooned there just like took over the indigenous species and like did their thing until the galaxy found them. And this is just a bunch of short stories of that happening over the years. Then they show up in Fate of the Jedi.
Wow.
Interesting.
yeah, it is interesting in concept. It's in execution. It doesn't quite work.
I'll be honest, the story's not good, but those were offered as free ebooks.
Yep.
So you
Except
can't
for the
really
last one.
except for the last one, it was included in the paperback. I loved that they put it in paperback. I bought it, but those aren't good. But I never want to talk bad about them because they were offered free.
Right.
If they would have been all collected in one, book, and I would have bought it, I would have hated that book. But I can't dog it because it's technically collecting all the free ebooks that he brought out, and then giving you an ending,
Yeah. So
which is still not satisfying.
The artist was David Stevenson and Scott Bale. Now, I remember I did download those when they were released. I remember they looked at the digital bookstore, and I was like, "Oh, cool, Star Wars," and I just download. Never read them. I mean, they all had the same style of art. Like, I think it was all the same picture, just different colors.
I read it because you kind of knew where it was. I think we knew by then where it was going to be connecting. But the thing was, the story was just never that interesting.
There was also a comic book spinoff called Spiral. That was also not good.
It was not good either. Yeah.
With what was it? The Sith had a princess in that, right?
Wait, what?
Yeah, there was a princess that was one of the factions. The factions were warring with each other in that.
Yeah.
Vaguely, like, it's not good.
Okay,
you could literally pick up Fate of the Jedi, and like you wouldn't be missing a thing.
Well, at first I was just thrown off by a Sith prince. I was like, oh, well, they have a Sith emperor, so I guess that's not, too far off base. So.
I actually think this is they disappeared before Vitiate's time.
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay.
They disappeared, I think, before the Eula Queldromo story.
Yeah, because it would have been the Hyperspace War. So yeah, it would have been before Ulick and all that.
Yeah,
I actually have an article on the expandeduniverse.com about why in Fate of the Jedi they were such a non-threat. If you've read Fate of the Jedi, read it.
It's a good article too. Dylan used to write articles.
Yeah, I did, and then school happened, and then I didn't have time to write articles again. And then
are these articles like on your channel?
No, they're on the expandeduniverse.com.
Oh, okay. I'll have to go check those out.
Hey, but I'll be honest, folks. Tune in 3 weeks.
Ooh, so Matt, can I do a tease for that?
Later. It's too early.
Okay.
It is way too early for that.
So I do have 2 others here.
Oh,
they're not really books. And I've seen you talk about them, I think, a couple times, Matt. But West End Games books.
Ooh, some adventure journals.
Now, a friend gave me these. I never knew what they were. I just knew they weren't novels.
They're short stories.
Okay, so Star Wars Adventure Journal. Those were short stories.
They're filled with RPG stuff.
And this one's got stuff by Timothy Zahn in it.
Oh, really?
And this is Volume 1, Number 1, February.
Yeah, a lot of the Bantam authors were invited to write. So you'll have Michael Stackpole wrote. Oh, he teamed up with Zahn, wrote a really good one. Kathy Tyers wrote one. I think Barbara Hamley writes something.
I think
Wolverton may have written something. Yeah.
There's Indiana Jones in there.
Yeah, those are fun. I love them all. They're hard to collect, though, aren't they?
Yeah, I have 3 of them, and I've paid like $50 a piece.
Yeah, I was lucky to get them back when no one was collecting them. No, I love the artwork. I love the feel of those things. The Adventure Journal was really one of the smartest things that West End Games ever made.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, that put West End Games apart from any like RPG ever. And it's something that I think we judge Wizards of the Coast really harshly on, is that they didn't do that.
Well, here's the deal. Wizards of the Coast deserves everything they get, because compared to what West End Games was doing with the series, they were lazy. And they shouldn't have been, because they had it during the prime time. Yeah. During the it sucks, but West End Games lost it in 1998, 1 year before the prequel comes out. And then that's when Wizards of the Coast gets it. They should be throwing everything at this and putting so much effort. And it seems like they try to do the least amount they could to make a buck and make big off of these prequel movies coming out. And I think fans saw right through that, and they hated it. They hated the lack of effort. Of course, most of them were used to playing the West End Games RPG.
Also, I'll jump in because I've played both. West End Games had the perfect system for combat. The D6 is what you should be using for any sort of projectile weapon, like a blaster. You should not be running a D20 system when you have a game where the majority of characters have blasters. I'm just saying. Also, especially with Saga Edition, which was the second, they stopped doing their first RPG and they revised it. They made Saga Edition. Level 1 Jedi doesn't have a lightsaber and can't have a lightsaber. That is so stupid to me on so many levels. You have to be level 2 in order to build your lightsaber.
I'd ask you to write an article about this, but you don't do articles.
I don't, because I'm writing my thesis right now for
Yeah, school stuff.
free.
To answer Brady's question, would you do Bantha books? Yeah.
Yes.
There's gonna be more episodes are gonna be coming. I want to cover all of the stuff.
Yeah.
Today's episode got crazy with all these new covers. I'm gonna have to go back and can't cross some things off the list. Here you go, Matt. You'd probably appreciate that one, right?
Oh, hey, you know what? It's great. I love it. It's Ewok.
It's
Do
Prime.
you have all of these, Matt?
Yeah.
Just figured.
Yeah. Here. Hold on.
I have 3, 4, and 5. Those are the ones I have.
Let's go on a trip. Whoa.
So I've got I've
I
got
was not ready with that.
number 2. I've got 1 and 2. That's all I have.
Oh, dude, you got some hard ones to get.
I just took my eye off the camera for 1 minute. When I look back, we're zooming in on Matt's face.
Horror.
There they are.
Pretty good condition.
Oh man,
And then there's some right there. The last two.
Matt, you're literally sitting on like thousands of dollars on your bookshelf right there.
I know. I know that whole collection right there.
What's funny is you can see his comic book. What is that? Cover B. He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I think
I
I have.
haven't filed that one.
That's
And so
true.
there's
Because
the
Matt
other two.
doesn't have his single issues on the shelf. He has those in long boxes.
Hmm.
I know this because I've seen them.
Yeah,
Yep.
Very
Oh.
nice.
Oh, man.
that's beautiful.
Dude, when are you going to hit New Jedi Order in Matt's Expanded Universe?
Like 2022 probably.
I was picturing 2021. Well, you
It
hit
could be 2021, though. Now that I'm doing 3 episodes a week, I could very much hit it.
You're
talk about
almost at Thrawn trilogy, aren't you? You're like a month or two away.
We're closing in. It could be this month, possibly.
ooh.
It's been recorded.
Of course it has. Dude, I wonder how many people are just waiting for you to do the Thrawn trilogy.
And then they're all leaving. No, it's getting fun because if you notice, I've already been doing the X-Wing Rogue Squadron series,
Yes.
and that is it's banging, man. It's just been awesome. And then there's gonna be, if you think about it, there's Dark Empire in this time as well
Crimson Empire.
as a Thrawn trilogy. There's Crimson Empire. I mean, you're really you're really getting into some stuff where it's really going to be some solid stories and some solid reviews, but hold on to your seats because we're going to be flying. It's going to feel like we're flying through it because the comic books mainly took a break around this time. There's not that many New Republic comic books. There's a few out there, but not that many. So, and there's some of the old school Dark Horse stuff too, which was actually pretty good. And so it's going to be a lot of fun reviewing doing reviews for the next couple of weeks and next couple of months, to be honest. And then this whole year is going to be, I think, doing this in chronological order. I got Dawn of the Jedi out of the way first. And where am I headed? I'm headed toward New Jedi Order, baby. And that whole realm of, Legacy of the Force, Fate of the Jedi, it's going to be fun. It's really going to be fun. It's going to end faster before you know it. I mean, it is going to be like 2021, maybe 2022. I don't know. But it just all depends. I don't try to rush the reviews. I'll do a few short stories here, and if I can do more, I'll do more. But if not, I'll say, that's pretty good enough.
And you started in 2015 with this series?
No, it was like 2014, I want to say.
I can't remember, but yeah, it's been a while. Because I start off doing one a week.
What are you gonna do when you're finished? I mean, you're gonna just like put up a clip of
Well, when I'm finished, I thought doing some top 5s, top 10s. I'll revisit because right now I'm slowly revealing, not in any order, what my top 10 worst and favorite were.
Okay.
And then I'm going to be doing stuff. I'll just do videos on that kind of stuff. And then there's other things to talk about, to be honest. There's a lot of other things I'd like to just, revisit and point out. And I mean, yeah, this is going to be the big series here, and it'll be over. But I'll also probably be reviewing more, new expanded universe material by then.
Well, you're almost at 108, aren't you?
Oh, you
108. I passed 108.
You passed 108.
Like, how are you more behind than I am?
I'm in the X-Wing Rogue Squadron books now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty soon to transition to Wraith Squadron. So, and it's been so fun talking about them, and it's hard not to give spoilers. And I think a lot. I avoided some spoilers of some of the deaths, but I wanted to talk about one that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I know exactly
with Wraith Squad, yes, I got to talk about that one. But everything else, I've been kind of, I want to talk about a few more, but I thought, you know what, that's spoiling one death after the next. I need to leave some surprises because that's the whole thing. It's not really a review. If you guys know, I mean, I'll give a quick overview and then I'll give my thoughts and then I'll give about continuity things because I want it to be a little bit different from a regular review.
Right.
So maybe next time, just do a hard, deep review. Put a spotlight on a book and do a deep review into it.
Yeah. That's what I try to do. I try to keep everything spoiler free. Just kind of give it a little tease of like.
I try to, but at times, I have to because it's the next comic book or the next short story spoils it, or I just want to talk about because it's just. I mean, Dylan knows exactly who I'm talking about. I've got to talk about that death. I've got to. And I'll say spoilers, but I've got to talk about it because it was just epic. And like I don't even know when I get to New Jedi Order, what am I going to do? Am I going to spoil every death? I mean, I may. I don't want to, but
you're literally going to have to. You're going to have to do it where like you give like the full review and then like the last 2 minutes is you talking about the spoilers.
It's going to be like when you did the spoiler for Jedi Quest.
Because you can't even talk about. I don't know if there's a way you can talk about New Jedi Order without like referencing like what just happened. Like in the later books, you're going to be like, this planet fell. So after this planet fell, they fought this battle over this planet, and then like next book is like, so that planet fell, and now they're on this planet.
I mean, true, but it's going to spoil the story when you go through an epic thing like that. But at the same time, you can skip over a lot of the details, and I hope to do that. I really do because I don't want to spoil that much, but I know I'm going to want to talk about just about every death, and I got to just control myself. Plus, by that time, TheGeeksAttic will probably have read at least some of it. I mean, we're talking 2021 here.
Just a little, maybe get to chapter 12 in Rogue Planet.
Remember last year when he was reading Rogue Planet? That was fun.
Oh, I know. It was last December.
2 years ago when he was reading Rogue Planet?
Booga.
Yeah.
The Rogue Squadron, someone asked if it was the comics or the novels. I've already reviewed the comic books.
Yeah. Just pro tip, if you're reading a Rogue Squadron book and or comic, don't get attached to any of the new pilots.
Yeah. Matt, it was so funny. I knew before I watched your video you were reviewing Rogue Squadron because people went back and started watching those really old reviews I did of the Rogue Squadron comics back when you were in the early days of that expanded universe.
Right.
I started suddenly getting all this traffic on these videos. And I'm like, what?
Do you remember the Shadows of the Empire comics that were released with the action figures? I think they had some for Rogue Squadron too, didn't they?
Well, they did. When the 30th anniversary of Star Wars came out, they did those 2-packs where you get 2 action figures and a comic, and they did it with a bunch of them. They did it with the old Marvel comics. They did them with like Legacy and I think KOTOR too.
Okay, Bryce has a message for Dylan. Yeah, Dylan found out the hard W. You know what the W means there, buddy. The hard W. And then his next message is, hey, you know what I'm talking about, the hard W. Hey. Dylan, are you all about the hard W?
Matt, we need to call him by his real name, John Sadler.
I'm sorry, Sadler. See, now that's an old joke too. No one's going to get that.
I have to put it on every show that Dylan and I
every appearance.
People people probably don't even know who the original John Sadler was.
Oh, we do. It's you, first of all.
Let me point. Let me. Okay.
I think the only thing that's broken is your keyboard.
Yeah, probably so. Whoever the Shatterpoint comics,
Shattered.
Shattered Empire. Yeah,
Yeah,
it did.
it's okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, we now know when Poe Dameron was conceived. That's like it's
Yeah, that you got that, and plus there's the weird thing that like the force tree that Luke is trying to
yeah.
steal. Like,
Yeah, I remember
Where was
that.
that going? Was that supposed to be the did he plant that tree at the?
They planted it on Yavin.
What are you talking about?
Oh, it's a new canon
It's a
thing.
new canon thing.
So
Shattered
Groot
Empire.
is in Star Wars now?
Yeah.
Huh.
Luke
Yeah.
planted a seed on Yavin, apparently.
There's just like a little tree that Luke had to go and steal. Was he on the Death Star when he stole that thing?
No, he was on an Imperial base that had
Imperial base. Okay.
Jedi artifacts that Palpatine was hoarding for some reason.
Yeah, and this tree's like important, and you're like, what are you gonna do with it? And I don't remember what happened to it. It's like they forgot it.
They planted it, and then they went on to be a married couple.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and that was the end of it.
It was a waste of time. Shattered Empire was a waste of time with good art.
Yeah, it did have good art. It had a 3D effect. What they did was pretty neat. But yeah, Jacob says it was awful.
There are worse Marvel Star Wars comics. The Mace Windu miniseries was unbearably bad.
I saw images of that.
That was one of those reviews where I was so negative on the material, I came off as like cruel, and I couldn't upload it. Like I hated it that much.
Isn't that like the one where we get like Mace Windu, like the only time you ever see him with hair?
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
little kid. He's a Padawan in flashbacks.
Oh, okay. I knew he was younger. I didn't know how young they were. I haven't read it. So.
It's a Clone Wars story. He and Kit Fisto and two Jedi we don't care about are go to a planet to stop a droid factory. It's like a nothing story. It's like the Anakin Obi-Wan new canon story that tried to be Jedi Quest but failed at it in every sort of way. And for some reason, we now have mech suits in Star Wars and blimps. This was in this era where we found out that TIE fighters wibble and wobble, and that space snipers were a thing. This is like that nasty time when we started just throwing things into the canon.
I think the last thing that I saw that they just kind of threw in was it was around Halloween. They threw in vampires in the new canon comics, and they had it.
God, I forgot about that.
Is it that Vader's castle thing?
Yeah, and I think and they made Count Dooku a vampire because Christopher Lee actually played Count Dracula. So that was kind of a homage. Yeah,
which is
so
stupid.
Would you buy that one, Matt, Dylan?
What was that?
Matt and Dylan don't read the canon.
No.
Well, yeah,
they're not.
You mentioned vampires, and I'm just like, oh, but like Crystal Star had ghostlings, so you know.
I was sword fighting in my head.
There was nothing like there's nothing wrong with ghostlings, first of all.
There's everything wrong with the Crystal Star.
There's nothing wrong with the Crystal Star. Waru for president.
Oh my gosh.
I think Crystal Star also had like a werewolf alien as well.
Did they? I thought they had witches in it too.
Isn't there a deleted scene? Isn't there a deleted scene in Crystal Star where Waru approaches Leia in a see-through robe?
I wouldn't put it past Vaughn and McIntyre.
I'm telling you.
It was this character.
You've got the wrong book.
You gotta be honest, Dylan. You were attracted to ghostlings.
This is a weird Star Wars book.
It's like Tristan.
Elena watched her uncle step into Ariel's side. The swordsman had sunk his knees to the threshold for the next chamber. Oh, wait, this isn't the Crystal Star. This is Witchfire.
Would have been great if they'd have misprinted it with like some smut romance novel.
I'm pretty sure Witchfire is smut. I'm almost certain that it's like those Highlander books that aren't Highlander. They're like TV.
Yeah.
Highlander. that are like porno books.
I
Since
think
we have this, since we have the cover up, I know Dylan, you did this earlier, the joke.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
pretend this actually was the Crystal Star. That cover.
That cover is great. First of all,
Let's
Luke
take
has
that.
the sassiest stance I've ever seen.
His hand is on his hip.
I love it.
You
When
gotta
I
love,
dip, you dip, we dip.
You gotta love Han's face there too. It's like, I don't know how we're gonna get out of this one.
Mhm.
I've got a bad feeling
Yeah,
about
Then
it.
you read the book and you realize that expression is, I think Luke's a little crazy right now.
Yeah. See, in my theory too, like this book, I always said this book is from hell, and the proof of it is in the art. Back here, oh come on, do you see that right there? Right, this
Are you
finger.
trying to tell me
Yeah.
the barcode has the mark of the beast on it? Because I will
See-
argue with you about
Do
that.
you see that number 666 right there in the Falcon?
I can't. No, I don't.
You don't
No.
see that? Is
No,
it too
because-
I
blurry?
don't.
have a
Yeah, it's a little blurry on my end.
30 years old. Matthew, and you
Hold
need
on, what?
a computer.
It's yeah. It's
Matt just got up to get his own copy.
there's 6 in the back in the Falcon art. That's how I know this book is from hell. So we could thank Satan, I guess, for giving Vonda in McIntyre the vision to write.
I'd rather read Crystal Star than Planet of Twilight. I'm just saying.
Which, speaking of, now I'm not saying this as a representative of the Twinsons Foundation because, of course, being a nonprofit, we can't get political at all. But personally
noticed
speaking,
that.
since it is primary season, make sure you are going out and casting your vote for Waro 2020.
I have a smear campaign ad against Matt on my channel when he's like
Join the
talking
club.
about Waru. Do what? You don't have the Falcon on the back of your book?
I do.
So we were talking about earlier, like adding like vampires and Groot and like other like werewolves in Star Wars. Can I show you guys something real quick when you guys?
There it is. Can you see it?
I see it. I can see the 666 right there by the engine.
Oh my gosh!
Oh
Yeah,
my
I can
God,
see it now.
it is.
Yeah.
It is the mark of the beast.
It is the book.
I can see it now. Oh my
It is
gosh!
the book
I-
from hell.
We now need to make a terrible VHS tape and send it to Red Letter Media.
Yeah.
That's the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
When Dylan saw that, his tups got all,
In a bind.
in a bind.
Room for Highlander.
I was wanting to show you guys this. We were talking about like adding like other like Groot and vampires and Star Wars and everything. Like, I think this would actually be a fun fan story. It's Vader versus Godzilla.
What?
Like you see Godzilla. It's a fan art. You see Godzilla in the background, and Darth Vader just igniting his lightsaber.
Wow.
I'd watch that.
I was watching this really good documentary called Searching for Darkness. I helped kickstart it, and I finally got my Blu-ray copy, and it's about horror movies made in the 80s. And one of the guys being interviewed has this art of I think it's Darth Vader facing off with a queen xenomorph from.
Oh, really? I saw a fan art of Batman with a red lightsaber impaling like a megalodon shark or a great white shark. Or something.
That was my screensaver on my first laptop.
Oh, really? Nice.
That's funny. Brady, he says that you're making him want to read the Crystal Star for the LOLs.
The Crystal Star is, I know a lot of people disagree with this. It's not as bad as people think. There's one storyline that is objectively speaking terrible, but there's another storyline that it has its moments. It's a little diamond in the rough.
With the twins? You're talking about
Yes.
Right. Yeah. I thought it was awesome. If you look at it in a continuity perspective, it's the first time they really get to do anything.
The best part about that book, in my opinion, was putting it back on my shelf and not have to dealing with it again.
That's funny.
That's
I
funny.
couldn't stand it. I could not stand it.
I was more down with Crystal Star than Planet of Twilight.
When I was reading it, I remember that was actually supposed to be the first expanded universe book that I was going to review. I was going back and looking at some of my old videos, and I said, I can't remember what book I was finishing up. I think it might have been Empire's End. Because you can see it on the shelf behind me, and I was like, next month I'm going to review the Crystal Star. Never got around to it.
Matt, I could see you putting that on your bookshelf, and then after reading it, walk away doing like the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, freeze frame. Oh god!
Don't you forget about me.
It was so bad it inspired me to make that stupid video where I.
Oh god, I love that video.
I think people thought I was serious. It's like my humor, I pretty dry, and to be like, this guy's a weirdo. I was like, guys, it's just for fun.
I'll have to go
Matt,
back and find
you
that.
appear as a little. There's a little snippet of you in the back as a old Chuck Wendig.
Oh god, the
Yeah.
greatest video.
Yeah, he's like in the background.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
We have
no.
another. Do we have a special guest with us? No. Okay, it's not as rough as a complete borehole to go through as Children of the Jedi, Planet of Twilight.
What's a borehole? I actually don't look it
Kind
up.
of like a hard W.
Dylan, do not look it up. You will be put on a watch list. I guarantee it.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Hold
no.
on, sorry, I didn't have it screwed in.
Something has happened.
Oh, what's going on, guys?
Oh no.
Matt, are you okay? I don't think Matt's with us anymore, guys.
No. What's happened?
There's something going on.
Is this-
I was wondering why no one mentioned Highlander.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, my
There
God.
he is.
Oh my gosh! What the?
We've got Chuck Wendig, guys. Oh, man.
No. I should have known he was involved.
Oh, Chuck. What did you do?
Bigots,
What did
all of you.
Oh,
So
Chuck.
says the Windig.
It's your writing style, Chuck. We don't like it.
Oh god.
Go back to your beehole or borehole.
I like Crystal Star.
Mm. Is that your
Waru.
inspiration? Did you get all your
When I
inspiration?
first saw Waru, I pooped my space diapers.
Ugh. How long did it take you to come up with that joke, Mr. Wendig?
Same time it took me to write Aftermath. 45 days. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. Breaking records there. The Crystal Stars from Satan, or the Antichrist, and we got Aftermath, also a mistake. How does it feel being unemployed by Disney and Del Rey?
Bunch of bigots there. Don't like Chucky.
Yeah.
Ban him.
Is it because of your writing style or because of the way that you treated your fans? I mean, not fans. You didn't. I don't think you had any.
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
Fans of Star Wars.
Would you like me to autograph your book?
No thanks. I think it might just degrade the value. This is great.
Stare into my chuckiness.
Oh gosh.
Oh my!
Steal our souls, guys. Don't look. Don't
My
look.
face is melting off like in Raiders.
I drew the 666 on the Falcon.
Damn it. Should have known.
Yeah.
So I know
Tell
it's
me,
gonna be,
Dylan. Do you feel a tingle in your tops seeing me again?
Just a lot of nausea. Go get some.
Dylan's
Pepto.
toupee is receding as we speak.
Majestic
no.
beard. Matthew used to have a majestic beard.
Yeah. How much writing did your beard do in the aftermath? Did it have a role in writing some of the story?
Don't be silly. It wrote half.
Yeah. This is my nightmares now, says Bryce.
You know,
This is Noogmares.
Nougat mares.
Nougat. Noogmares.
Chuck, I wrote an aftermath book in my toilet in the geek's bathroom.
Yeah.
It didn't take me 45 days. I don't think you're trying.
Where do you think I came out of? The Geek's bathroom.
Maybe
It's
your
not
next,
bad.
maybe your next book should take 44 days.
44 years. I don't think we want to deal with that anymore.
So,
I wrote my last novel before I finished taking a poop.
That's where you do write them all, right on the toilet.
Of
Jeremy's
course. Chucky's thinking comes from the porcelain throne.
Mm.
And this will be the video that goes viral.
When I wibble and wobble to get the last bits out.
Go away, Chuck. Get out of here. I'm calling the cops. Oh, gosh. Matt, are you okay?
Yeah, what happened?
You missed it. Chuck Wendig was here.
Shut up. No, really?
dude,
Dude, you're like never here when he's here.
dude,
I
He's
know.
like he's
It's
like the
weird.
stuff. It's like you and John Sadler. He's like the stuff of my nightmares.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know how to come back from that.
I don't think that was an impersonation.
Yeah.
I think that was really him.
He's
Yeah.
looking for a job, and he knows that Matt has a lot of Star Wars books. He's just trying to.
He hides out behind Crystal Star. I never should have brought it out. I
Yeah.
knew it. It was a bad idea.
He broke the seventh seal.
Yeah.
Yub. You were supposed to watch him.
Improvos, very nice Wendig impersonation. Yeah, no, it was real. All real.
Real.
Just watched the Legends podcast episode when Chuck was first showed up.
Oh,
today. Wow.
Actually,
yeah.
Chuck showed up. What was the first time he showed up in?
When was
it?
the first appearance of Chuck
I-
Wendig?
Do you know when it was? I know when it was. The video's not up anymore.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Ooh.
Wendig's World.
Yeah, I
And now
love
Bryce is stuttering.
that video.
Now he's stuttering in his messages here.
Such a tiny dot in a great big universe.
I'm just a tiny dot
I
in
remember
a
I did
great big
Before we
universe.
do- Adam, did you like Aftermath? Did you read it?
Aftermath?
Yeah.
I
You
haven't
could-
read
to
the
be
first.
honest, Did you like-
I haven't read all of them. I only tried starting. I read a little bit of Life Debt, and I never finished it.
Okay.
It just
Oh yeah, don't get me started with that one.
Oh yeah,
That was-
life.
that was the one that I was like, oh, it's getting better, and then
Dude, where expectations were so low, you could find them next to dinosaur bones. Like,
Yeah.
well at the time I didn't know that it was a sequel to the first one because like I didn't start reading Star Wars books until like a couple of years ago, and then I just saw the Millennium Falcon, like, ooh, I want to read that, and then I was just like, I was starting to get bored. I didn't know who the characters were, and
it's
That was
all
the
right.
problem.
It's not explained in the first one either.
yeah.
Did it have an actual life debt in it?
Kind of, not really, kind of, sort of. Probably in an interlude. I don't remember.
Because all I remember that book is like the 30 or 45 seconds of the audiobook that I listened while we were in a call once, where he mentioned the fact that they were orbiting the Kuat drive yards about like 6 times in the span of that 30 to 45 seconds.
Oh god,
Wendig was not a very good writer,
no.
and he blamed the Star Wars fans.
He also made a blatant continuity error and wouldn't own up to it.
Oh
And
yeah, I saw a lot of the backlash behind that.
the Marvel fans were pissed. He wrote a Vader annual and like messed up how Vader found out about the Death Star. That contradicted with Revenge of the Sith.
they've made a continuity error with the Ahsoka book too, because I remember someone talking about that. You know, she was talking about her green lightsabers, but now it shows in the 7th season of the Clone Wars she has blue lightsabers.
Yeah, that's Filoni not caring. That
Mhm.
that's Filoni's already having like what Anakin talking to pregnant Padme and knows she's pregnant, but he doesn't. He like forgets, I guess, before Revenge of the Sith.
I saw that from the trailer, like where I was just like, I don't know. Are they just trying to like ignore Revenge of the Sith, or are they just trying to like, this is what really happened?
He wants to finish his story.
Yeah.
That he wants to make.
why do people even like the Clone Wars? Like, I've never understood the appeal of
A lot of
it.
the
It's so
people-
terrible.
I think it was because they were kids and they watched it and they
As
fell
a
in love with it.
child, I hated it.
I don't know if any of you will get this reference, but someone made this in one of the Facebook groups, and like it just opened my eyes to like what was going on. But they said that Clone Wars was the Halo Reach of the Star Wars
Yes.
continuity universe.
The Halo Reach.
It's a pretty bad game.
Well, because it's like it's a good game on its own, but it's a good game that like completely destroyed all of the lore.
Uh-huh. It did.
Well, and what they're
I
also
think-
doing. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Well, what I also don't like that they're doing is that, like, you remember Return of the Jedi when Luke said, or when Yoda said, "Luke, when I'm gone, the last of the Jedi will you be?" But clearly, Ahsoka's still out there somewhere. I know that she's not technically a Jedi, but there's also Ezra. We don't know what happened to him. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
In the EU, it's the same thing because Crook's out there.
They explain that a little bit too, because Luke talks about how I thought I was the only one, but technically he was because everyone stopped being a Jedi.
Yeah.
They still had the
no.
Force, but remember they had stopped being Jedi. They'd gone into hiding. I think doesn't Dark Empire explain this?
Yes, because we have
Was it Vima or was it the metal ball guy?
yeah, he stopped being a Jedi.
Brandis. Does he say I cannot remember, but I remember thinking reading somewhere where someone said, well, we weren't Jedi. When Yoda told me I was the last, you were the last to claim the Jedi. Everyone else had stopped being Jedi until you came back.
That also kind of contradicts like what Yoda said. Like, when Luke was like, "That I am Jedi," and then he says like, "Oh no, not yet," and then he says, "Oh, by the way, when I'm dead, the last of the Jedi will you be?" I'm just like, well, you just said he wasn't a Jedi. Like, what?
Well, he has to. I mean, that's just.
Hey, the guy was 900 and something. Will you give him a break, Adam?
I'm
For
sorry.
crying out loud. He can't remember everything. He's senile. He also pissed his pants in the last scene, but you didn't see that because they CGI'd it. Lucas wiped it out. He said, "Oh, did he wet his bed at the last?" I didn't see that. Guys, CGI that out.
That's why they didn't CG out his the Muppet's ear was folded over.
Piss my bed, I did.
Which was kind of funny because in a certain point of view book, you learned that blanket that he used is actually Qui-Gon's robe.
Oh yeah, that is in the new canon. That's Qui-Gon's robe.
Speaking of a certain point of view, do we have anything?
Why
on what
would he?
Project
Hold
Luminous
on. Back up. Why is he sleeping with Qui-Gon's robe?
I don't know. He had a plot that everyone gave him too, and that he breaks.
My Tups would never touch Qui-Gon's dead robe. I'm just telling you that.
Also, why does he have Qui-Gon's robe when Qui-Gon was cremated in his robe?
That's a good question.
That doesn't make
I-
any sense.
I thought he wasn't cremated in his robe.
Someone play the footage.
Crap.
Roll that beautiful beam footage. No, I was just gonna say that I got Highlander: The American Dream for $8. That's including shipping on eBay, so the whole trade. So it's coming my way, Jeremy.
Good. Dylan put a coin in the jar.
Also, Dylan, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Well, I just looked it up, and so I answered my own question. I was going to ask if we had gotten anything about what Project Luminous is.
Does it even? Why do we care what Project Luminous is?
No, you see, here's the weirdest part about that. I need to look it up because I know that they use like a certain type of text that's very confusing. And I'm typing two things at once here. Project Luminous. Now, people kept assuming that there were going to be movies and TV shows and stuff, but no, it's just books and comics.
So it's
It's got Disney, Lucasfilm, Del Rey, IDW, and Marvel.
yeah, it's basically things that no one will care about.
I think
Right. So here's the
Oh, go
thing:
ahead.
the text. If anybody can make sense of this, the Force is what gives a Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things until Project Luminous. What does that mean? Until.
It means that you're going to keep saying it to spread their word around because they wrote something that's garbage.
I was kind of, when I first saw that, I thought, I saw an interview with Mark Hamill that was recorded a few years back, and he was giving like what George Lucas really wanted to do for the sequel trilogy. It was like Luke was an old hermit. They were talking about people, groups of characters called the Wills, who were actually they controlled the Force, and that's what I was kind of assuming they were going with.
Well, the Wills are brought up in the original Star Wars novelization, right?
Yeah,
that part I don't know.
I believe so.
Like,
I haven't read it, but I've heard that before.
That's like in the prologue, is the Journal of the Wills. And then they call a Palpatine President Palpatine.
are you talking about like this book that I?
Yeah, in that one.
Yeah.
Well, let me check.
Because synthetic force powers says all American cornbread. Hey, thanks for coming back. Cornbread was on there with the discussion with the Twinkie cereal, wasn't he? Can't remember.
I don't know.
Jacob, I think Anakin took Qui-Gon's old lightsaber, and then it was one of the many lightsabers that he lost over the years. And
I thought Obi-Wan had Qui-Gon's lightsaber in Rogue Planet. I don't know. Matthew, you're reading Rogue Planet. I know Obi-Wan.
I haven't got that far.
Yeah, you were right, by the way. Like the first prologue, and then it was signed like from the first saga, Journal of the Wills. So yeah.
Huh?
And they called Palpatine President of the Republic. So.
Remember when Palpatine didn't have a first name? That was great.
Yeah.
When did they give him a first name? I don't not remember them ever.
Canon.
It's entirely new canon. There's actually a great post. There's a great argument made by the I think it was New Republic Historical Office that basically went into the thing that like in the EU, because in Disney canon they called him she, but in the EU that Palpatine was heavily hinted that Palpatine was named after his father because he completely in Plagueis novel he completely hated his father and everything he stood for, but he liked the family what the family stood for, and he also said that he hates his own name, that he's not going to use it. And he made the connection of what's the thing that he hates as much of his name as his father. So he was probably a junior named after his father, and that's why he didn't go by that name. It's an interesting little fan theory.
I just can't see the Emperor being junior.
Yeah. Hey, come here, Junior.
Well, it wasn't junior. It was
or the second or whatever.
I can't remember.
Consigna, I think it was.
I don't know.
I'm trying to look it up. Sorry.
But no, that's what I thought that they were going with was Project Luminous was like kind of going into something along the lines of the Wills.
Yeah, but I think Cornbread might be onto something there, like synthetic force, because it's like created by all living things until Project Luminous. So it's like something, I don't know, maybe that's what they're pulling out of that old baby Yoda. Let's get some Force DNA to spread around in Project Luminous.
Signa Palpatine.
Signa Palpatine.
I know that in the Star Wars Rebels show, like they gave, I think Sabine, I think her name was, the Mandalorian, like when she was learning the Darksaber, she had like another Mandalorian warrior gave her like these devices that were able to like replicate some Force stuff and like to help fight Jedi or something.
They were artifacts, I think.
Oh, they were?
I can't remember. I know what you're talking about, but like that whole storyline with Sabine was so dumb. And like it was like the weakest parts of season 3 to me.
Honestly, like I just kind of I paid attention when I could, but I was watching my daughter, so I was just kind of like letting that
I get that
on in the background. So
I fell asleep during the season 3 finale. It was so boring to me, and like because I really liked season 2 of Rebels, minus Ahsoka being in there, because Ahsoka had no business being in there, except for that Dave Filoni's favorite character ever.
I'm just wait. It's going to be a matter of time before she gets her own series.
She's going to be training Luke and Leia.
That'll be dumb.
Yeah.
But you know what's going to happen.
I thought she was off like trying to find where Ezra is. Or
I mean, she is, but so the thing with Ahsoka is because they put that stupid time travel thing at the end of Rebels, and she was like an interdimensional being or some nonsense.
yeah, I didn't like that. The world between worlds or whatever it was.
Yeah, she's like transcends time now. So like,
This is stupid.
Yeah.
so we can have her forever.
So we've got an airplane flying over right now.
Oh, I hear it.
Sounds like
And
something you make in a
That cover that you
prison.
have.
What?
Do what?
Remember, Dylan? Remember flow walking? Remember how cool flow walking was?
Yeah, well,
Remember the rules to flow walking?
yeah, that's what I was about to say. At least it had like rules. You had to physically be in the place that you were going back to or forward to in some cases. And you had limited interactions, and even if you did change something, the force would fix it.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
because it'd have to.
Yeah.
The cover that you have right there.
Uh-huh.
It's not going to focus on it, I don't think.
It looked like a VHS tape. But
Do what?
it looked like a VHS tape because your cam is like so grainy.
I wonder how to fix that.
Can someone I just had a thought. Because those are all Star Wars books all around Yoda, right? And even though I haven't seen The Last Jedi, I have seen the clip of Yoda destroying the sacred Jedi texts. And now I just can't get it out of my mind that he destroyed the EU with that lightning bolt, whatever he did. Those were the sacred Jedi texts.
Yeah.
I just can't get over the fact that they've decided that Force ghosts can use the Force to interact with things. And like,
They actually use that in one of the new Star Wars comics. They actually explain what happened to Luke's blue lightsaber. There's like this implication that a Force ghost Obi-Wan was at the bottom of that pit or that and that he caught it. Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Like you don't know it's for sure Obi-Wan, but you just see like a cloaked Jedi catching the lightsaber.
That's so stupid.
Spoiler alert, sorry.
Jacob, that can't be real.
No, it is. Like I'm serious. Like,
That's weird. Do you guys remember the rant that Freddie Prinze Jr. went on saying he knows more about the Force than the fans since Dave Filoni taught him about it?
yes, I saw that interview. Like, and he, oh my gosh.
I never saw that.
I
know
saw. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Matt.
No, go ahead. I was going to say something else about comics.
Oh well, I think it's on the Star Wars Theory channel. Like he was showing the interview and like breaking it down, and I heard it, and I was like, man, Freddie Prinze Jr. goes off on the fans.
Weird. Yeah, the Freddie Prinze Jr., for those who don't know, which I'm sure you all do, was the voice of Kanan Jarrus. Speaking of Kanan, the comic that came out about him in Kanan, I can't remember the title, but I actually enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the best of the new canon comics for sure. But that doesn't take much.
Yeah. Sorry.
Matt, did you fall asleep?
What?
Not you, the other one.
What did you say?
Matt Wilkins is asleep.
Sleep with his eyes open.
I'm sorry, the new canon does that to me.
Yeah, you had the whole Gandalf sleeping with his eyes
Why
open.
am I here?
I don't know.
Why are we
about
still
new
here?
canon. I mean, I just
For the next Highlander portion.
whoa, Highlander. Okay, what's up?
Yeah, huh? Dude, can we
You
talk
hear Disney's rebooting Highlander and is going to get rid of all the other stuff, and they're going to make their
Please boot Dylan. Please
Disney,
boot Dylan.
Disney
You know,
Test series.
they would have Sean Connery in motion capture. It would be hideous.
That'd be weird.
Well,
Yes.
Bryce gives up now. I'm trying to see his comment here. I know more. I have an opinion. Forget you, Dan's, for having an opinion. Opinion.
In my onion.
Dude, Matt, can we talk about Highlander the Raven?
Oh, it's a terrible TV series.
Oh, bad.
It's so bad. It's only good because they came out with Highlander the Source and Highlander in-game afterwards.
You got that flipped.
In-game, and then the Source. But Highlander the Raven is such a terrible idea. And to be honest, it should have been the spinoff should have been about Mythos.
Yeah. Well, I hate her.
Way more interesting character.
With
He's the
Keanu
annoying
as the
character.
Highlander.
And I love Keanu Reeves, but actually I'd go for that. Never mind.
Can you
Anyway,
imagine Keanu Reeves with a mullet, though?
and Joe Manganiello would be Kurgan.
There's still a 20th Century Fox property? I don't think it is.
I don't think so.
No, I
Was
don't
it
think
Hidden
property
Gems?
It is. I think it's a Liongate.
Is Highlander owned by Disney? I don't think it is, right? We would have known that, huh?
No, they would have done something with it by now.
It's funny you mentioned we mentioned Keanu recently. They did like some,
Distributed by EMI Films, 20th Century Fox.
Dylan, you just cut off Adam again.
oh no, that's all right.
Just because you're a goddamn telemarketer doesn't mean that you can interrupt people.
Now can we boot Jeremy? That's the second one.
Well, I was mentioning that they put Keanu Reeves in some fan art for the Old Republic. Apparently as Revan or something.
Oh yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah, it's like they did the same thing with Benedict Cumberbatch as Thrawn.
Wait,
Waru.
Oh
how did
yeah,
I
I
lose my
remember that.
Highlander
That's
conversation?
a choice.
Oh,
Yeah, I've seen those.
We all know that's Matt's favorite actor, Benedict Cumberbatch.
I hate that guy. I'm so glad they're coming out with Doctor Strange 2. That's going to be just phenomenal. I can't wait to miss that. I don't even know if I'm going to start watching. None of those new Marvel movies look even halfway decent.
I stopped watching after Infinity War. Infinity War was one of the most boring things I've ever seen. Also,
Oh gosh, the
Phantom Menace. I never thought I'd say a movie ripped off the Phantom Menace. Ever.
Adam's got the Marvel shirt on.
I'm representing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
what was the last? I guess the last one I saw was Endgame too.
Yeah.
They haven't come out with anything afterwards, have they?
TV, nice. Yeah.
There was a Spider-Man one, I believe.
Yeah, they did another Spider-Man.
Oh, I did see that. Never mind.
I didn't see that one.
Dr. Mysterio in this patent video.
Remember when we talked about covers?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the time we talked about Highlander.
Yeah, that's what really.
Coin.
It's
Yeah.
Highlander, the anime movie.
Is there an anime Highlander?
Yeah,
There is, and it sucks.
It was part of it was made into a meme, like in the early days of video memes, and they like put like a hair metal song over it. It was pretty good. That's how I found out about it. It's better than the animated series of Highlander.
I think we've said Highlander so much that we now have enough coins to where Matt can buy the entire audio drama set.
I would if I could find it, but it's not available on eBay
I've had
either.
to stop because I've run out of nickels to put into this jar. And I don't want to mix it in with my other stuff.
I'll be honest though; these are only like 200 pages each. So this is like
Minutes.
they should be easy to read. They should be easy to read. So I'm excited, but I want to read. I want to continue on to power through Wheel of Time series, and then I also am trying to finish Silmarillion, and then after that, Unfinished Tales. I think that'll be my Tolkien for the year, and then I'm going to go into History of Middle Earth next year.
You should do a Matt's History of Middle Earth series.
Well, some people have been asking for that, and I thought about, why not instead of Lord of the Rings and Hobbit book, why don't I just go ahead and just review all the History of Middle Earth, Unfinished Tales, Silmarillion, the Adventures of Tom Bombadil, which were collected in the Tolkien Miscellany or whatever it's called, and the last song of Bilbo's last song.
Would you?
Aren't there some of those
Children of
between there that
Hurin?
are
Children of Hurin is basically a remix of Book of Lost Tales 1 and 2, which is the first two books of Middle Earth. It is the best out of those three books by Christopher Tolkien, though. The Fall of Gondolin and Beren and Luthien, those Those two are just total retreads of everything. The reason why Children of Hurin is a little bit special is because it kind of combs through Book of Lost Tales 1 and 2 and gives you a more cohesive story.
I'll be right back.
I read that. And
It's not bad. I kept. That's the only book I kept of the three. That's the only one I kept because I kind of like that. But other than that, though, there's nothing. I mean, Christopher Tolkien was out of ideas. He was out of ideas, out of stuff to print.
I didn't expect much from him.
Unless Tolkien wrote out a grocery list that we haven't seen yet. There was really nothing else he could have given from his dad. I mean,
passed away, right?
And the history of Middle, yeah, he just did. But the history of Middle Earth is really good, and it's been a while since I've read it, and I want to read it all the way through again. So, and I don't think that's been reprinted, has it?
With the histories of Middle Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in a 3-volume hardcover.
Oh, shut the front door, really?
And it's
That's interesting.
$250.
Yeah, it's a gigantic series. I mean, it's only for the diehard Lord of the Rings fan. It's rough drafts of the Lord of the Rings, rough drafts of the Silmarillion, and then everything in between you ever imagined, all his writings. And it's not bad. It's not bad. But Christopher Tolkien just gave us everything we wanted. He gave us Silmarillion first. Silmarillion came out 3 years after Tolkien's death. And then he did Unfinished Tales. And then from there, he said, you know what? Let me just get all of Dad's writing out. So it started Book of Lost Tales 1 and 2, which eventually turned into the History of Middle Earth series. And it went on for 12 books. I'm sorry?
Is there a book in there somewhere that's really hard to find?
A lot of them.
The one that was hardest for me to find was, hold on. It was The Lost Road. That was the hardest one for me to find back in the day. But those books are actually worth a pretty penny. And I remember because my buddy, he only had one book. He said, well, I think I have one of those. I went, was it The Lost Road? He went, I can't remember. And so I came over, looked at his bookshelf. It was The Lost Road. And I was like, shut up. And so I bought him, I think it was groceries, a week's worth of groceries. It's like $60. And he gave me the book.
Jacob's got his controversial opinion. Narnia better than The Lord of the Rings.
Apples
Narnia greater than Lord of the Rings. I'm going to say no, but you could make an argument out of that because I do love the Narnia Chronicles, but I think I do love Middle Earth a little bit better.
I love when it comes to the Narnia stuff. I like the religious symbolism. I think the most. I think it's well done. And
I think the last battle is ingenious, but
yeah, and even Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe has some really great.
Oh yeah,
in it.
I didn't watch the movies. The book when I remember reading it in school.
I'll be honest. If they came up cheap, I would get them on BBC. The BBC movies.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Those were fun. They were fun.
Yeah,
and they stayed to the. Go ahead.
Can you imagine if they had made the Voyage of the Dawn Treader the BBC?
They did.
No,
they did. Yes, they did. They even made this. Yeah, even made the Silver Chair. They stopped at the Silver Chair.
I've never seen the Voyage of the Dawn Treader one.
Oh, you haven't? It's a fun one.
I did. I thought they skipped to Silver Chair.
Lucy comes back, and that's his first appearance. Edmund's first appearance is in Silver Chair. You saw him again, and Voyage of the Dawn Treader. It's the same actor.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. What Warwick Davis is Reepicheep. That was a really good choice. You know, a little guy in a rat costume. I'm all for that.
Yeah. Disney made ones. I remember Prince Caspian was really bad.
Prince Caspian was awful. And then someone else took it over and did Dawn of the Jedi. They did Dawn of the Voyage of the Dawn Treader. And they were going to do Silver Chair, and I guess that's done now that Netflix has the rights. But I really hope Netflix starts with Magician's Nephew. It's cheap, it can be a great story, and it's a great way to kick off your series.
Yeah, or honestly,
something we haven't seen,
like Horse and His Boy.
Well, that would be done after Narnia, Lion, the Witch, and Wardrobe.
The main characters are in it.
They're kings and queens of Narnia back then. And it's just about a adventure that happened during the last chapter of Chronicles of Narnia. I mean, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Why do I keep saying that? But no, I like Narnia. You could make an argument, definitely. Because to be honest, I think the Magician's Nephew is really good.
Yes.
and I like a lot of the. Maybe the Horse and His Boy is the weakest one, but it's a nice story. But other than that, it's a great series. I really like Middle Earth.
Yeah,
Me too.
me too.
Yeah, my wife's currently reading the last Lord of the Rings book right now.
Oh yeah, it's great. I reread them all last year, and I absolutely love them. I absolutely love The Hobbit. You should start with The Hobbit. It's an easier read.
I
It
just read
pulls
The
you,
Hobbit, yeah.
yeah, it pulls you into the series, and then jump into Lord of the Rings, which is a little bit deeper, but good. So,
Yeah.
but I thought about doing reviews of the other ones. The other the little one-offs here and there, and then after that's why I want to read Silmarillion and Unfinished Tales, because then I'll start on History of Middle Earth. But I need to stop. I need to do one big series at a time. Wheel of Time is my big series, and I think after I even do that, I'm even after the Dune movie comes out. Who says I won't be hankering to read Dune again?
Dude, do a Dune series. That's what I want more than a Tolkien one for you.
Dune would be a good one. The Highlander books, maybe do some of that too. I mean,
that's like 2 weeks worth of material there.
And here's the deal, and I've talked about this before on my channel, well, once or twice. That the good thing, if there is a good thing to say about the expanded universe being discontinued, is it freed up for other hobbies and other reading, man. Because I was solely, I mean, Matthew, it gets overwhelmed by all the new books coming out. I mean, it wasn't as bad back in the day, but Expanded Universe had comic books coming out. They had, there was always something coming out, and yeah, it's hard to stay on top of it. But I could just devour anything that was Expanded Universe back then, so that was easy. But at the same time, I didn't have time to reread other stuff. I never had time to reread anything, and I certainly would try to squeeze in the next Doom book that came in, or the next thing. It was always squeezing in these other stuff. But now I have the time to read all this stuff, like the Highlander books and everything. I don't think I ever would have gotten those. And there's a lot of other stuff I've gotten to read that I've never, really had the time, because you're trying to catch up on all the Star Wars, that you can't read the other stuff that you're interested in, because there's other things and other hobbies too. I mean, heck, I saved tons of money. I mean, that's how I got my board game collection, because of, I stopped. Lucasfilm said, "We don't want your money." I said, "Okay, who wants it?" And so I mean, I've discovered a lot more. So it's been fine. Everyone's like, "How can you stop watching? How can you not watch the new canon? How can you not read the new canon?" It's easy, because there's a billion other interesting things out there to grab my attention. Now, I always love the old canon, and I'm fine with anyone liking the new canon. But I'm just saying, there's billions of other things to hold my attention.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that I can't wait to. I don't know. I got to read a lot of the expanded universe. The new stuff comes out, and then there's like all the Warcraft books that I have that I've been wanting to read. I've got the Wheel of Time that I need to finish. There's plenty of other books that I have that I keep. My intention is to I'm going to get this. I'm going to review this. Don't have time. It's just hard to keep up.
I feel it, man. Go on.
I'm sorry. Jacob has a quite thing about Kevin J. Anderson's Dune books. I love Kevin J. Anderson's Dune books. I think they're great. In a way, they're better than Frank Herbert's. They're definitely better than Frank Herbert's later Dune books.
Yeah, that doesn't.
And that goes without saying. From Heretics of Dune to Chapter House Dune, those aren't his best. And Kevin J. Anderson and Brian Herbert did a fantastic job. Some of the best stuff is actually in those trilogies. All right.
I actually bought my. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's my cue. I got to head out. I got one crying there. Anyway,
all right.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for joining, man.
Highlander.
Clean.
One. But I mean, for me, I'm so burnt out on Star Wars. I'm really diving into the Alien expanded universe of books.
I was actually wanting to read, at Half Price Books, they had some Indiana Jones novels that I was actually intrigued to read, and I started reading Batman Nightfall. And speaking of Kevin J. Anderson, at Barnes & Noble, I see it all the time, but it's like a Batman and Superman novel. I think it's called World's Finest or something like that, but it's it's set in the 50s, and it's got the Alex Ross type cover art on it. I've been really intrigued by that, and
do it. Pick it up.
Yeah, I might have to go buy that next time I get paid. So
I also need to head out, but before I do, make sure you guys are checking out the Twin Suns social media because we may or may not have something early next week. And that's about all I can say.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Have a nice night.
Thanks, Dylan. for joining.
Later, dude.
But yeah, I was gonna say we should probably go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's 3 hours then.
Thanks for having me on again, though. I really.
yeah. Sorry for blocking you.
No. I'm glad you were. It was in the process of trying to block the Ooga Booga guy or something.
Yeah, it's like the comment section shifted up, and I was like, "Yeah." That's funny, but yeah, Jacob says, "I Have the Beholder" is a masterpiece, but we'll get to more of this stuff later on, another video, another time. But Jeremy, Adam, thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me again.
You guys want to say anything before I hit the end broadcast button?
Yes. In the words of the great stonehead of Zardoz, the gun is good and the penis is evil. You're gonna put me in that situation that's gonna come out.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
I was gonna
Adam?
say on my channel, me and my cousin I just uploaded the podcast that me and my cousin recorded. We talked about the different animation styles and nerdy pop culture. So it's on my channel if you guys would like to go check that out. So
Awesome, sweet. I'll provide links down to everybody's YouTube down below too whenever we're done and I can edit it. But thanks, guys. Thanks everybody for joining, and I'll see you guys later.
Later.
Have a good one.
you too.
And you just got to hit that in.